Well, here we are. It's what are we calling this thing, Peter? What exactly is this? What are
Playoff
we?
watch
What are,
party with the boys.
playoff watch party with the boys? Sounds good. And hopefully Alfred will be. Is that right? Big Al.
Big Al.
We're gonna get a little Big Al DMac reunion here for the first time in like 5 years. Wow.
Is that legal?
I know it's fine by me. It's okay by me. So if it's okay by Al, it's okay by me.
Maybe we should call it pulling up to the boys.
That sounds good. I
Yeah.
like it. What is going on with your voice, brother?
Coaching.
Oh
Giving
my
back to the community.
God. Oh my God.
Giving back to the community.
So why are you screaming so much at your kids? What are you doing there, pal?
Poor coaching.
Poor coaching.
Poor coaching.
Are you guys out? You're not outside, are you? I know you're coaching lacrosse, and I know I'll help you out here a little bit, Peter. You're coaching lacrosse, varsity coach at Denver South. Are you outside at this point, or are you guys still inside in the gym?
We're playing indoor games, practicing outdoors.
Oh, you are. So were you outdoors today?
Yep.
Wow, turf fields. I was.
Oh, not today. It was a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you say the best that you can, my friend? What's coming up here tonight? Who's going to join us theoretically?
We have an all-star cast. We have Alfred Williams. Explain who Alfred is.
What's that? Say again. Sorry.
You explain Alfred.
Alfred is one of the.
You explain Alfred.
You explain Alfred as being one of the best human beings in the world. You start there. And the best personality around, the best husband, father, friend. I don't know. Anything that has best, put that in front of it, and that describes Alfred. How about that?
Golfer.
Not the best golfer. Good long game. Disaster short game.
But if you're golfing and he's on the course with you, you know it.
Oh. There's no matter who you think has a big personality, if Alfred's in the right mood, and I've been around Al a lot when he's in the right mood, he is always, rightfully so, the biggest personality in the room, no matter what.
No, even when he's on your force.
Yeah. Is that? Oh, there's our guy, Vic. Vic's going to be here in a second. I see him. So we'll get Vic going here in a second. And so who else? Alfred, of course, we look forward to. We're going to have Vic in a second.
Marvin Lewis.
What's he doing now? He was with ASU, but I assume he's not now.
No, he's still with ASU.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay.
Was with the Raiders this year, too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to talk about playoffs.
All right. Wow.
Playoffs.
And then Albert Breer. I'll help you out here, Peter. Albert Breer a little bit later. Jordan Schultz.
Sports insiders.
Dr. David Bruton. So...
Dr. Victor Lombardi.
There's Vic.
Wow.
There's Vic.
Fancy.
Now, Vic.
Yeah. How come do I have to turn mine this way?
Yes, I think you have to turn yours that way. Yes.
There we go.
There you go, son. There you go. Now, Vic, is the TV working?
Yeah, I got the television on. I got the simulator on. I've got everything working tonight. Everything's ready to go.
Peter's voice is toast.
Yeah, Peter, what's wrong with you, Peter?
Coaching.
Coaching. Oh, is that lacrosse?
Yep. Bad coaching, Vic.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad Vic's here, and we can get into a bunch of other stuff. And the Niners game is about to kick off, which
just kicked off.
Oh, okay. So you're a little bit ahead.
God, Peter sounds like shit.
I know.
It's funny, Vic, because the girls think it sounds sexy.
No, it sounds like a duck that's dying.
The girls say it's sexy, Vic. Hey, last time
how you doing?
Make predictions.
What's that? Say that again.
What's that?
We did not make predictions last time.
Oh, I'll make a prediction. The Niners are going to kick the Packers' ass, just like the Ravens did to the Texans earlier today. That's my prediction.
I hope not. I hope Jordan Love shows us something tonight. You know, if Jordan Love can go into San Francisco and win this game after going into Dallas last week, How'd you like to be his agent, Peter, if he could do both of those things in 1 year?
Well, he's got a deal for next year already.
Yeah. Okay.
But he looks like he's on the cusp of millions, hundreds of millions.
I mean, think about that, though. I mean, how would you like to be on that precipice? Again, if you could prove it in the playoffs, which means everything in this game, it means everything, especially at that position.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you make all your bank. That first pass was shit.
Yep, that was garbage.
He throws way high to Aaron Jones.
The divisional round separates the contenders from the pretenders.
Yeah.
You know, I just think as a quarterback and 7 first-round quarterbacks in Brock Purdy, I think you've done all right by getting to this divisional round, frankly. And what happens from here, I don't know. So many good players, so many good teams. But I think it's a fair expectation. If you're any good, you get here. You get to the final 8 as a quarterback. You did it.
Yeah.
That's good. And you go from there. What do you guys think?
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, this should be, if you consider yourself a quality franchise, this should be the expectation.
Yeah. I agree. Making the playoffs, fine. Getting to the divisional round, to me, is like, we had a good season. Not a great season, but we had a good season.
I think teams that make it to the divisional round can say, all of them, they're a couple pieces away.
I totally agree. That's when you draft. That's when you draft a cornerback.
I mean, that's where you get the necessary pieces to complete your team. Hey,
Correct.
why was Peyton Manning at that Baltimore game today?
He takes Marshall to games. Marshall loves football, and he just asked this. I think, because I know a couple of coaches that coach with Peyton, and they've just said, Marshall just says where he wants to go, and they go there.
That must be nice.
How about that?
That must be really nice.
Yeah, it's a fun life. I mean,
I got a story for Marshall for you. Peter was there. So, a couple seasons ago, it was the year that Peyton was inducted into the Hall of Fame, whatever that was. And Peter, you were there. Who were you there for? I can't remember. You were there for
Atwater.
That's right. So we were all there for Atwater. We were there also for Peyton Manning. And we were
I was there for Atwater.
Yes. We were there for the pre-Hall of Fame jacket ceremony. And they have this private little setup in the back room before they have the jacket ceremony. Well, lo and behold, I got into that private ceremony. I wasn't really supposed to be there, but we were there. And
on my coattails.
Exactly. And there were nothing but Hall of Famers, nothing but yellow jackets in this room.
Nice.
As far as the eye can see, yellow jackets all over this room. And Marshall was there.
Yeah,
and
okay.
So Peyton was being just, there were so many people that wanted to talk to Peyton because he's going to be inducted. And I'm talking other Hall of Famers. You're a big time when other Hall of Famers want to come up and speak to you. And that's what Peyton Manning was doing. And Marshall was sitting there with a football in his hand and a marker. His ambition was to get all these Hall of Famers autographs. But at the time, he didn't know everybody. So I'm watching this unfold, and I said, Marshall, come with me. And so I took him around and introduced him. Yes, I introduced the kid to like about 20 of these legends of the game. And he's sitting there getting autographs from all of them, all around the room. It was really cool. He was really into it, though.
Awesome. Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
How about the first drive?
They're moving the damn ball.
They're moving, yeah. They're doing something. Good for them. I mean, they got it at the Niners 45. I think I'm a little bit behind you guys too.
They're exploiting the interior defense line of the Niners.
Hey, man, you're going to run the ball right up the middle if you can. I mean, try it. If it works, keep doing it, right? Why would you try anything different?
Well, they're getting 6-7 yards a pop every time.
Yep.
Every time, 6-7 yards a pop. Keep doing it.
Peters, where's RG? Where's Randy Gregory? What numbers he got there?
He's Cinco.
Number 5. I see him.
Yeah, Cinco.
Okay.
Who does Jordan Love remind you of?
As a player?
Yeah.
Well, God, there's a lot of comps. I mean, I don't know if there's one particular comp that comes to mind. What about you? Who comes to mind when you see?
I think he kind of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. Exactly.
Doesn't he kind of look like him?
Yep.
This Green Bay running game right now, very rarely do you see teams dominate San Francisco on the ground like this, but my goodness, every run they've tried has gained a lot of yards.
And running right over Boza.
Wow, look at this.
6 for 32, 5.3 per. Crushing it so far.
Goodness gracious.
They don't look like they're stopping them.
God, the weather looks so much more pleasant there. I know it's raining, but that weather in Baltimore just gave me chills watching those poor people.
They're asking for snow shovelers in Buffalo again.
Yeah.
Jesus, really seriously, what was I thinking? 5.5 years there? I mean, really? God damn.
Which is worse, snow or rain? Cold rain.
Cold rain.
It's all relative, though. It's very relative, DMac, because when you're there and you expect that kind of snowfall and you get it, no big deal. When I lived like in Austin, Texas, they had those 2 months where if there was a rainstorm, an ice storm, it would shut the city down. Shut it down.
Yeah. Well, Vic, were you at the Super Bowl in Dallas with the ice storm?
I remember that. Shut it down. Same circumstances. Yeah.
We were at the hotel, and the hotel was like 2 miles from the convention center where Radio Row was, and they had a shuttle driver. That's his job. And we go down the lobby. We go, well, we need to go. And he goes, fuck no. We're like, what?
Hey, Peter, wasn't that the Super Bowl, Peter, where you partied with Owen Wilson?
It was at the Jerry Jones Playboy party.
Okay, yeah. You got to hear this story. So Owen Wilson, the actor, right? Owen Wilson, who's a man of many trades when it comes to Hollywood. He's done comedies. He's done a couple of dramas. He and Peter Schaffer ended up hanging out together, and that would have been something to behold because you guys have absolutely nothing in common. But what was that like?
Well, we have this great sense of humor in common.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
How is that not a PI? Yeah, there's a flag, PI. Green Bay's going to have it first and goal.
I see Alfred in the waiting room. Are we letting Alfred in, or what are we doing with the big guy?
Vic, I want to show you something while we wait for Alfred.
Yeah, show me.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Alfred!
Big Al.
Alfred!
What you doing? I'm in the middle of making dinner for the family. Hope everybody's well.
Where are you in a tent or are you in a kitchen?
I'm in my garage actually.
You're in your garage. I love it.
Are you barbecuing?
That's awesome.
I'm barbecuing.
That's fantastic.
But watching the game too, it's early. A lot of boots, a lot of play action passes that are happening, and that's what I expect.
Hey, what's the number in your house tonight for dinner? What's the crowd like at your house for dinner tonight?
Tonight we are at 5.
Oh, well, that's
it's a light night, but
that's all right.
Yeah, I'm at 5, but I'll show you what I got going on, man. It's a nice night. Let me show you.
All right, let's see it.
Let's see. So it's about 4 minutes. So here we are.
Hey, last year I was at a party with Alfred, and his wife makes the best catfish I've ever eaten in my life.
Christina's the genius.
So
nice setup. Look at Big Al's setup.
Oh yeah. Oh, Vic, have you never been over at Big Al's house?
Oh no, but his porch looks nice.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, man, it's nice.
Oh yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, Al's got Al crushes it.
Yeah,
that's what a couple of Super Bowls will get you.
What's crazy is that during this time of year, all of these games don't really come down to anything until halftime.
Yeah, it was 10-10 Ravens and
yeah, that was a great game.
Big stop.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. But I kind of like watching it and going in and going out because the Broncos are not playing, so I really don't give a damn.
That's about right. Hey, are you pulling for the Niners though? I mean, we got a lot of connections there.
I am.
You played for the Niners. I'm
pulling for Kyle, man. He's such a good dude, man. I've known that guy for such a long time.
Right.
And it just feels organic to actually just to see him and the family, and Mike and Peggy have been so good to me and our family. It's just a fantastic deal.
Alfred, you played for the Niners.
What's that?
You played for the Niners.
I did, but I also played for the Bengals. I don't root for the Bengals.
Hey, Al,
Yes.
Al, you want me to show you my new toy?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's see it.
Uh-oh.
Check this out, baby. Check this out.
Nice. You'll only lose by 6 this time.
Oh, come on, Al. Come get some here. Come get some, Al.
See that?
Come
Nice.
get some,
You still
Al.
got that same raggedy ass swing, though. How long have you had that, man?
Got it for Christmas. I bought it as a Christmas present to my wife. She never uses it.
That's great, Vic.
Yeah.
Al, you don't have a simulator, golf simulator? That is.
Yeah, it's called YouTube.
There you go.
You know, so it's weird trying to get this camera to stay. But my agent extraordinaire is sitting there, and I know he's got laryngitis. I called him earlier.
I know he can't talk. He sets this whole thing up to host it, and then he can't even talk.
Right. Don't worry about it. You got 3 talkers.
That's true. Right. We're good right now. Peter doesn't really matter all that much right now, but that's fair.
You know what? You know what all of these guys that are playing in the playoffs have?
What's that?
All of them have a quarterback.
Yeah, baby.
Sure do.
All of them have a quarterback.
Well, guess what round they drafted those quarterbacks in?
They drafted Brock Purdy in the 6th.
7th.
Hey,
but aside
Al.
from that,
Al, I was driving around town, I think yesterday or the day before, and I heard you say something on your radio show, and I could not agree with you more.
What's that?
You said something that hit home. You said, if Sean Payton took a job that the goal was to make it work with Russell Wilson, to make it work. Well, if he couldn't make it work, give him the job. What's the point of giving him the job? In a roundabout way, is that what you said?
Yeah, so basically, my belief is that if Sean Payton had 2 options, in my opinion, his 2 options were the Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos. And if you're playing musical chairs, I know, Peter, you can't talk about this much because this is your business. So this is all speculation on my side. What I believe is that if you have 2 teams at the time, you have the Denver Broncos and you have the Arizona Cardinals. Here's what's so unique about that situation. Both of those teams had just signed quarterbacks to long new extensions. Mm-hmm. And knowing the Bidwell family and how they do business, the money that was guaranteed to Kyler Murray was going to get paid to Kyler Murray. You were going to have to be settled with Kyler Murray in Arizona. And I do believe that Sean Payton didn't want to be settled with either one of those 2 quarterbacks. So my belief is what's happened with Sean Payton is that he took the option, and it was the only option. Remember, now this is the only option that is remaining. His only option is to take the Denver Broncos because all the other coaching jobs were already full.
Agreed.
So
what you're saying is he went to the wealthier ownership group that could afford to go away from that contract.
Yes, that's my opinion. I don't believe that it was. I think that this was his only opportunity.
Yeah, I think you're thinking too deep into it, Vic. He took the job that he was offered. That's it. And he said what he had to say to keep it.
But here, yeah, exactly. But the job, I do believe belonged to Jim Harbaugh.
Absolutely.
But I don't believe that the situation was right for Jim Harbaugh to take the job in Denver. That's the hardest thing for me to, because I do believe that he's a superior coach and he's okay with morphing ideas to match his quarterback and their play. I don't believe that what happened here in Denver was anywhere close to morphing into what Russell Wilson could do and to get the best out of him. That's just my own personal opinion.
So are you optimistic for the future or not then? Because
I'd like to see Russell Wilson back, but it's going to work because of what we've done. There were a couple of times this year where Sean Payton really just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right that he, yelling at his star quarterback and, it just didn't feel right.
He never wanted him.
Never
He wanted the job. He didn't want Russ. He
Yeah.
just wanted the job. And he was telling the guys behind the scenes that it wasn't going to work for weeks before they made that decision. Come on now.
Right. And remember now, this was also like, you have to remember, this was about a year ago when Sean Payton, there was a report that Sean Payton didn't want the job in Denver. And he was actually in Arizona when the report came out.
Right.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And his representation and him, and he came out and said, that's not true. I never said I didn't want the Denver job.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
Like, that was,
that freaked him out. Like, no. I love the owner. I love owners. I love Walmart.
And you guys remember that? I'm like, hey, man, clean up on aisle 7. Clean up on aisle 7.
And he's wearing
that was a pick six.
Yeah, Green Bay should have had a pick right there.
Pick six.
He was wearing an orange tie on TV. He was, man. All right, well,
I mean, it's done now.
It's done now, yeah.
What we have left is a jigsaw puzzle like none other in the NFL, where you got $85 million. This has never happened. Like,
hey, Al, they're going to draft a quarterback this year? What they're going to do?
They should draft a quarterback every year until they get a quarterback.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm with you guys. 100%.
Who's your guy?
Just keep playing this game.
All right, well, let's go around the room. Who's your guy then, Al? Right now, who's your guy? Who's your QB?
My guy is whatever guy, I guess, if he's going to be here, and it doesn't matter about what I like. It's about what Sean Payton likes.
That is so true. Right there.
If I can like a guy all I want. Here's what's telling about this situation. And why I say I'm not going to tell you a guy, because it doesn't matter what Sean Payton wants. When Lamar Jackson entered into the NFL, guy who's going to be a two-time league MVP, they changed the entire offense to match what Lamar Jackson could do. That is by far the best situation that we've seen transition from college to the NFL. They didn't do anything new. They kept in line with what Lamar Jackson could do. Here's the other one, Patrick Mahomes. After Patrick Mahomes entered into the NFL, it wasn't until year 3 until he could read defenses. So Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and that crew went down to Lubbock, Texas, and they figured out what Patrick Mahomes wanted to do, and they did everything that Patrick Mahomes could do. Remember now, Patrick Mahomes couldn't read defenses until year 3. Until year 3, it's well documented. He couldn't read defenses until year 3. The guy won league MVP in year 2. So that just goes to show you, if Sean Payton really wants to make this work, he's going to have to find a quarterback, go to that quarterback, and he's going to have to bend to what the quarterback can do, not necessarily what he wants to do. And I know, I had a conversation years ago with Mike Holmgren. Mike Holmgren said that if he was back in the NFL, he'd run the same offense, and the same offense would work. The only problem with that is that we have no offenses in college football, major Division I, where we have one in Michigan. One Division I college that lines up under center. All the rest of the guys line up in shotgun. So where in the world would Mike Holmgren find a quarterback to run his system? It just doesn't happen like that. You're going to have to bend to what these guys do.
I know we're going to see a pro-style quarterback in college next year, Alfred.
Who?
University of Colorado Buffaloes with Pat Shurmur and Shadur Sanders.
No, man.
Get ready for it.
That dude's going to be in shotgun, and he's going to throw the ball 50 times a game. You're talking about is really hurtful at times, because I love the university, but, it feels like,
is it killing you?
It feels like for most of the season, we didn't give our offensive line a chance to really play big boy football, and I think that's going to happen again. So,
where do you stand on the Zoolander show?
The what?
Zoolander show with Shiloh and Shadur on the runway.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Anytime these guys can make money and advance their brands, I'm down for it, man. I'm not one of those guys who don't believe in free enterprise. I'm just the opposite. I'm the guy that believes wholeheartedly in it.
Vic, where were you with that? I don't know where you were with the catwalk stuff.
Well, I think it was a simple solution that Deion Sanders could have avoided all of this. If you knew your kids was going to be at some runway in Paris, don't hold that damn meeting when they're at the runway in Paris. It's
That's
pretty
fair.
simple.
That's an
Because
easy
you
solution.
don't have to hold a friggin' team meeting in January that's viable for the season. Just wait till they get back, and that way you avoid all of this controversy.
I saw Dion was striking back at all the haters, and it's just like, wow, man. Like, what is
I don't
going?
mind them going. I don't mind them going at all. I just think it's easy to avoid. It's easy to avoid. Just move the meeting.
Totally agree. The NCAA doesn't care when you do stuff, but you have a certain amount of time to do stuff. Just move it to the next week. No big deal. All they had to move it was
just 2 days. They were at the game last
2
night.
days.
The CU women's game. Yeah, just move the meeting.
2
No
days.
big deal.
You move it 2 days. There's no hubbub. Everybody thinks it's cool. Nobody cares if your kids go to the. Vic,
I agree with you.
Going the first day of college semesters. I just hope my kids can finish.
Hey,
I really don't care.
DMac,
Yeah.
I get invited to walk a lot of modeling and fashion runways all over the world. So I have to miss some things, but I make sure I pick and choose.
Hey, if it's Hornets Nuggets, you can't be in Paris. I mean, you got commitments, Vic.
Why do you have a problem with it, DMac?
I just think there's championship habits and there's not championship habits. And I don't like daddy ball. And I think that was a big case of it.
Hold on. So you think the championship habits happen in January?
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
I remember, like what's happening. What's happening. I heard one of the callers on the show, on our show, said that those guys missed class. I don't think people out there understand what happens with college football anymore. Nobody in college football goes to class anymore.
Yeah. What do they do?
All of their classes are online.
I know, it's crazy.
Really?
All of them.
It's crazy.
All of them.
I know firsthand.
That with all four of us, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's my kids. But Dylan's still in school, and he barely. I don't know. So he does have to go to some classes, but it's just different. So I'm not bothered by that. That actually doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think the team meeting, though, bro. I think the team meeting is. I think it's a bunch of bullshit, to tell you the truth. I mean, why do you need to go to a team meeting in January?
Well, but that's what Vic's point is. Just move the team meeting.
Don't have a team meeting. You know why they have a team meeting in January? This is part of the problem, DMac and Al. This is part of the problem because it's all part of the TV show that they're putting together, and everything is orchestrated, and everything is part of it. That's exactly what it is. All right, hey guys, we're producing this. Have the cameras ready. We're going to address the team. We're going to talk about this. It's all behind the scenes. It's all constructed as a show.
Wow. What was that show that was in the bubble and everybody? What was that show?
In the bubble?
The Last Dance?
What is it, Peter?
In the bubble.
Where everything was recorded.
What, the Truman Show?
The Truman Show.
Yeah. The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Maybe it's the football version of the Truman
Show. Hey, Al, did you see the documentary on Prime?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I got a little soured on that too because there was like, man, it's one thing to be yelling on the field and all that stuff, but there was some humiliating of kids off the field, in meetings, in the hallways, in the weight room, and it just was like, man. I mean,
that part of the show?
Oh yeah, they left it in. I mean, he called his entire team a bunch of quitters after the Washington State game. Couldn't believe that I would ever be, coaching a bunch of quitters. You guys quit. And they're like, wow.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, check this out. I represent some players that played against Colorado. They got scouting reports off the TV show.
Oh, I believe it.
All right. Well.
Yep, they were able to see that when Shador pats the ball, which way he's going to throw. They got scouting reports off it.
Hey, there's a price to pay for fame. Okay, we all know this. Everybody wants a piece of fame, and it's a beautiful thing because with it comes money, comes popularity, comes a lot of things. but there's always a price to pay for it. And when you pay that price, you can't make excuses anymore because it's your decision to do what you do. But I agree with you on with this, Al. It's January. It's a 24-hour news cycle. The way these boys are going to play in August has no impact on what they do in January. Nothing.
Right.
We're not even going to remember this. It's not even right now. It's a story because it's all we got. Come August, we're not even going to remember it.
No, I don't. You know, I think culturally, what's happened at the University of Colorado is way bigger than what's happening on the field. And
well, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, we got Deion Sanders winning Sports Person of the Year. I mean, we had a 4-8 record, bro.
Yeah,
4-8, and he won Sportsman of the Year. Now, I thought that was outrageous.
Although that did happen for a magazine that just went bankrupt and went out of business after 60 years.
Yeah,
that's
but
not a good thing.
Also in the same state where we have the league's MVP, two-time MVP, and the first-time champion in Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. How can you not give it to the Joker?
Oh, well, that's a different. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's for sure.
I'm like, man, I think Deion's a great dude, man. I've been knowing him since 1991.
Yeah, but now does he know how to coach? I know he knows how to recruit, but does he know? Oh, else, By the way, we're not mentioning anything about the game. It's 3-0, 2:33 to go. That's what I got. You guys are ahead, and Packers are driving again. Packers are driving
Big
again.
Gainer. Yeah.
The corner fell down. And, easy play. Big gain. We got
I'll tell you what,
so
this Dobbs kid could play, man. Remember him against the Broncos, even though the Broncos bit him? He made some big plays in that game. I love his game.
Yeah, I do too. All right, well, this first quarter's been dominated by Green Bay. Is Al burning his garage down?
Now, what's that ring that keeps happening? Is that your ring? That
That's
must
not
be
me.
Al.
That's gotta be Al. All right, so San Fran, what'd they do? They just go 3-0 basically? They didn't do anything.
They almost got a pick six when San Francisco got the ball. It didn't help too. They had an injury that sort of ruined a drive. And then there should have been a pick six. They were lucky to get out of that without a pick six. Yeah. Then they just punted it away.
You got, fellas, they got to survive. They have to survive. They have to survive until halftime. If they can survive until halftime, they have a chance to really put the hammer down on this Green Bay Packer team. But remember, Green Bay played last week, man. Like, people don't understand what it's like to stay in rhythm and to play the prior week and then come into this week, because those guys in Green Bay, they're playing as well as they can play. They don't belong in this situation right now, and the 49ers will make them pay. Guaranteed, the 49ers will make them pay. But they're out of wits, if you will, because they didn't play last week. It's a big deal. There's very few teams that can come out and dominate with the week off in the playoffs, because this is the best of the best.
What is that guy doing to Christian McCaffrey's
He's rubbing his leg, his thigh. So Christian's got a little something going on, huh?
Well, Deebo Samuel has got a head injury. He's being evaluated right now. It looks like he may have been concussed on the opening drive.
Well, that ain't good.
Well, I should go watch the game too with you guys.
Well, wait a second. You're not watching the game?
No. I told you I don't watch to the third quarter. It's just my
Wait. We're doing a watch along, and you're not watching along?
Not till the third quarter. I just finished mistakes, letting them rest.
Peter, what kind of program are you producing here? Alfred's doing a watch along where he's not watching the game. What happened, Peter?
He's gifted.
But I can multitask.
Hey Al, the problem with my simulator, you can't use it if you're if you're over 6'1", you hit the ceiling, so you can't. Big guys can't use it.
I love it.
You gotta be a small guy like me.
That's the best simulator ever.
Vic, it's a shame the way that you flaunt your wealth.
I ain't flaunting anything. I'm just. Hey, I'm getting you ready for golf season, brother. You me this year. You me, baby.
Alfred. Hey,
Alfred,
hey,
you
Vic,
can't
Vic,
do what?
I've learned at my new spot there. Vic is the man. Vic walks on water, Alfred.
No,
I'm
no,
telling
hey
you.
Al, you got to see. I was with Al when he had a hole in one a couple of years ago at Raccoon Creek,
Oh yes, yes.
and he dropped that sucker in, and we were more excited than he was. I've never seen someone so cool and chill over a hole in one.
Which one was it? Was it the one over the water?
Yeah, over the water. Remember you
Wait,
side spun it in there? It was
wait.
sweet.
Did you just say which hole in one was it?
Well, he's had multiple. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, was it the long par 3 or the short?
No, it wasn't 17. It wasn't 17.
Okay,
This was number
4, number 3,
number 4.
Number 4. Yes, that was a good day. That was a good day. It says in your golf group, who's the biggest shit talker?
Al's the biggest shit talker.
Without question.
Yeah. It's not even close.
Alfred, do you remember?
Biggest.
Alfred, do you remember where you met Prime?
Yes, at the Nike Slam Dunk Contest in Boca Raton, Florida.
And who got you in that?
The agent extraordinaire, Peter Schaffer.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, I sure want to have. Are you having a beer, DMac?
No, I'm on a diet again. I'm having like water.
Oh yeah, I'm on dry January, so I'm like, please don't do that while I'm.
No, it's La Croix, something.
How do you guys do that? How do you
Water
like? My
thing.
wife's doing this right now. This dry Jan. How do you guys go a month? Like if I can't go a day without a glass of wine, a month.
There you go.
I'll tell you you know, it's a good exercise just to see where you're at. You know,
I don't have the mental wherewithal.
Hey, Vic, nobody likes a quitter.
Vic,
Nobody
I've
likes.
seen you go more than a month without alcohol.
What, Vic?
Absolutely.
I think so, Al.
When did Vic go?
No, I don't think so, bro.
Yeah.
When I was sick.
Yes, exactly.
No, I still squeeze some of that. Don't worry about
You
it.
did?
Oh hell yeah.
Really?
Hey, Al, Peter knows this. In my family, wine is not considered alcohol.
We're back.
Correct, Peter?
Absolutely. Nectar of the gods.
No, it's not alcohol. It's just like a drink. It's like juice. It's like Tang.
Look at this. There's some going on here. They just got to hold on, man. They just got to hold on.
Well, the Packers are doing great. The Packers the first quarter is basically done. They had an outstanding first quarter.
Yeah.
They are running the ball
again,
all over them.
If the 49ers can hold on till halftime, they'll stomp them.
Well, 10 rushes for 43 yards.
Alfred.
Jordan Love, 7 of 11, 68.
Chase Young cannot get cracked sweet. A wide receiver just blocked Chase Young.
You know, it depends on what the defensive call was. If it was a stunt that put him inside, then he has no choice. But if you get blocked by a wide receiver and you're the edge man on the line of scrimmage, you have no awareness. Well, it can't happen.
Correct.
The Packers just the Niners had one drive, 5 plays in the first quarter. That's it.
Yeah.
Packers just kind of dominated everything right there. Let me see time of possession. Must have been crazy. Time of possession. 11:47 to 3:13. Packers over the Niners. Wow.
Hey, you got to believe me here. They just got to survive. They got to survive it. If they can hold this team to a field goal here, sky's the limit.
Hey, but Al, is anybody as good as Baltimore, seriously? And is any player as good as Lamar Jackson right now?
Man, I'm so interested to see this game tomorrow. Tomorrow's game between Patrick Mahomes has never played on the road. Like, that is I think he's like top 5 all-time in playoff wins, and he's never played on the road. Think about that, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That I've seen in a long time. If the Chiefs can get a win at the Buffalo Bills, I'm telling you, that ticket is going to be the hottest ticket of the NFL season. That ticket will be hotter than the Super Bowl ticket.
Well, yeah, hey, you know what, though? I don't know if you caught this. The hottest ticket in the playoffs? Detroit. Detroit, yeah.
$1,100 to get in the door.
Damn.
But
Well, you know what?
And Patrick Mahomes playing at Baltimore against Lamar Jackson when Lamar Jackson's going to win a league MVP. Hey, man, I don't know. That may be a game that I may want to go to. I may want to see that in person.
You better call Peyton. Better call Peyton.
Oh, well.
Peyton's there right now, huh?
Peyton will get you tickets.
I think the world wants to see the 2018 draft class highlighted. They want to see Mayfield move on. They want to see Josh Allen play Lamar Jackson. Come on, man. That's what we want. 2018 draft class.
Wait a minute. So Baker Mayfield was number 1 in that?
He was 1. Allen was 7. And Lamar was, what, 31, I think?
Yeah, that was Bradley Chubb. At what number was Bradley Chubb? 4?
5.
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we remember that moment, don't we, Alfred?
Oh, my goodness.
Dude.
I remember sitting in the back of the room at Bronco headquarters. I'll never forget it. And Case Keenum, they were going to introduce Case Keenum. Remember, they signed him. And I saw Lamar Jackson was still on the board. And I swear to God, I even tweeted about it then. I said, my God, I know they got Case Keenum. I get it.
Niners should tell them. 4th down, Niners hold.
Really?
No, to Vic's story, I was sitting next to Alfred saying the same thing, Vic. Like,
go get Lamar Jackson.
Go get him.
Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. They wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
Oh. He didn't get it.
You need Kelsey.
Wow.
Wow. That's a big stop.
If you're a Green Bay fan, you got to feel like you got to vomit right now because you've had the ball in the red zone
the referee gave it to him and then took it from him.
Boom.
The side judge gave it to him, and
Where's
then
the
he
red
took
flag?
it from him.
Where's the red flag? Red flag.
He didn't get it.
Oh, no. I'm telling you, the side judge gave it to him, and then he brought it back.
I think you're right.
How can you even see? How can you even see in that mosh pit of humanity where the ball is?
That's crazy. They just gave it to him. Oh, well, no, wait, hold on a second.
They didn't give it to him.
No, they didn't.
That is a...
Throw the red flag. Throw the flag.
It doesn't matter right now.
Oh, my God. Holy cow.
And this is what I was telling you. They just have to hold on.
Throw the flag.
Yeah.
He didn't get there.
You got to throw the flag here.
They're not throwing the flag.
Man, I don't understand. This is where football loses me. We're in 2024, and you got a chain gang telling me if a team is – how do you tell?
I don't think he got there, man.
I don't think he got there either. DMac. But you know how you tell? That camera angle right there, that is the only source of figuring out if you got the first down. It's not a chain gang.
What I love about Alfred is technology. Al's a friend of technology. Al, why don't they just put something in the ball, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the easiest thing to do. That's by far the easiest thing to do.
Because you don't know which part of the ball crosses.
Whatever. Figure it out.
Why not put it in a seam of the whole ball, Peter?
I don't know if you can.
Well,
why not?
You'd have to do the whole ball.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, you don't know what the fuck they'd have to do. You'd have no idea what they'd have to do. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like tennis.
They'd have to do the whole ball. Like Peter knows anything about that. There's what kind of computers are out there these days, Alfred? We're
hey, look, man, we're looking at quantum computing now.
That's right. I saw that, the quantum computing. Right.
Yes, man. We're talking about multiple layers of qubits at some point.
Right. Don't tell me we can't put some shit in a ball if we got quantum computing.
They just got to survive, baby.
Your boy Brock Purdy looks shaky.
Yes. Once again, if they can get out of this at halftime down by 3 or tied, they're going to stump a mud hole in the Green Bay Packers.
Wait, is Brock Purdy your boy? You like Brock?
No, because I like first rounders who end up being big time first rounders.
That's right, because we like we like the Avenger stories, not the Disney stories.
Yeah, I don't like comeback story. I don't like that story.
We don't need fucking Rudy out there playing quarterback. Let's go.
Isn't Christian McCaffrey a comeback story?
No.
Christian McCaffrey is a superhero as it gets.
Dude, what are you talking about?
He wasn't doing this in
wait. Time out. When was Christian not a superstar? Just let me know.
Last 2 years in Carolina.
Oh, stop. He was hurt, and he was still a superstar, and he gets paid like $20 million a year or something for a running back, which is a dying breed.
Niners changing cleats right now. The Niners are all changing cleats.
Christian's a great guy, by the way. I'm not trying to hate on Christian. He's just not an underdog.
That field, man, at night.
Why is that? What's the deal with that field, Al? All the time, that San Francisco field's always a problem.
Santa Clara. Say it, Vic. That's where it is, Santa Clara.
Yeah. So at night, what happens there, man, is that all of the water or something just gathers, man. Like when we play the Candlestick, because the practice field where they are right now is right next to the stadium. I mean, it is next door to the stadium, right? But the practice fields are tight, and the stadium field is not the same turf. It's not the same turf.
Well, you remember for the Super Bowl, they put in a new turf like 2 weeks before the game. It was like a slip and slide out there.
Look at this. This is amazing. Here it is. Now, if I was Green Bay, I would not be an agitator right now. I'd get back into the huddle. I just keep it as it is. I do not want these guys playing inspired football.
Give me a prediction. How many yards for McCaffrey at the end of the night? Like you see, yeah.
Total yards, Christian McCaffrey, I have 130.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good number.
I think like 80 rushing, 50 receiving.
Oh, I think he might get 130 just on the ground.
Uh-oh, he's got a left hamstring issue.
Oh, well, all right. Never mind.
Well, he had a hamstring issue. Remember, late in the season, he missed a couple games because of it.
Yeah.
That guy's so good, man. I can guarantee you if he was playing slot receiver, he'd be a top 5 slot receiver in the NFL.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, he's quick enough.
Oh, quarterback just got to put it on him. Wide open.
Oh, my God.
As soon as I say it, they go to him as a receiver.
Yep. Bad pass. That's a 7th round pass right there.
It's all right because the next one's a 1st round pass. Because I'm ahead of you.
God, how far ahead of you are, man?
Yeah, geez. What are you at the game, Peter?
Dude, I'm still watching the freaking Baltimore game.
Perhaps I'm just clairvoyant.
Peter's in the second quarter of the Chiefs-Bills right now.
Yeah, the Bills are up.
See, this is why I hate streaming. I hate it because of this.
Oh, my God.
Everybody's on different times.
Peter, you're way in front of us.
Hey, Al, back off. Vic is about to rip on Comcast. Go ahead, Vic. What do you want to say?
No, I'm talking about, it's just not just Comcast. Modern television. We've taken 8 steps forward to take 10 steps back.
And dead silence after that comment.
Hey, what I'm always paying attention to is all of the glitter in front of the second level in the pass. Like how do guys create that little distraction for the guys that are dropping for those guys to get to the second level behind them. I've been paying attention to this for, I don't know, since 1987, and it's changed every year how they get the linebackers to bite up. It used to be run. Now they just do like a shallow cross, all kind of ways just to get the attention of the linebackers' eyes. And then as soon as those linebackers think they're going to run up and make a big play on the guys in front of them, they just throw the ball behind them. It takes so much incredible patience if you're a linebacker just to stay disciplined and stay with the drops. That shouldn't have been.
Hey, what do you think about the Bronco linebackers?
I think they're good, actually.
Which ones are going to be still there?
I think I think Josie Jewell is out.
Gone. Yeah.
I think he's out, but
One left.
I think he's probably going to be a player. Not good the first half of the season. Terrible. But I do believe that, what we saw the last 2 or 3 games is what we're going to get this upcoming year. So that's going to be good. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is what we're doing with our cornerback, Riley.
Riley Moss.
Yeah. What are we doing with Riley? What are we doing with Riley? Why come he didn't play one snap of cornerback last year?
Well, he was hurt, and then he was confused.
But he played on special teams.
Yeah, you know who else was confused too is that Drew Sanders
Drew
kid.
Sanders,
Yeah, he was confused too. We had 2 very confused people out there on defense, rookies. I don't know what's going to happen to Riley Moss. They want him to be a starter. They think a lot of him. He's their guy, I guess. But I'm seeing some mock drafts where they're taking this guy Terrian Arnold.
First round pass alert. I'm just saying, first round pass alert.
Okay.
Pass.
First round pass alerts to a 5th round player.
Oh.
I see Marvin Lewis is waiting to get in here, guys.
Well, guys, I'm going to let the coach go ahead. Oh, there you go.
Alfred, you got to stay to say hello to Coach.
Okay. There it is. And that's how it's done.
Hello.
Coach.
How you doing?
Man, good, man. Just saw this touchdown. Coach, I was just saying, man, how crazy it is to see how all of these linebackers, after all of these years, they still bite on anything in front of them. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening. If they see somebody in front of them, they're going to bite up and they're going to open up that level right behind them no matter what, man. No matter what.
Yeah, they tend to take the cheese, Alfred.
Look at that. Let me ask you something, Coach. On that 4th down and 1, you go ahead and take the field goal.
Well, I don't know if you I don't know if you run the sneak if you're not good at sneaking. That's the only thing I would say. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think when you get in that situation, give them more than at least hand the ball off in front where you got a lead blocker or something like that sometimes, unless you're good at sneaking the ball,
Yeah, no doubt.
But in today's football, man, particularly early in games, these guys always want to score points, because they don't want to answer the question afterwards why you kick the field goal if you lose. But you answer the same question when you lose, no matter what. The only way you win is to win. So figure that out.
How come you're so quiet, man? Are you just not gonna? Is your voice really hurting?
No, I can barely talk.
Okay.
So, Marvin,
invite then. If you're inviting a dude and you can't even talk.
I could talk when I invited him. Marvin, how do you prepare for a divisional playoff game? Everybody's got tape, right?
Well, I didn't hear your question again, Peter.
What is the difference in preparing for a playoff game than a regular season game?
Well, I think the biggest thing is making sure the players understand the urgency of it, the defining moments that there is no tomorrow, and you better make the best of it. That's the biggest thing, and I don't know that young players quite understand that. As much as the veteran player, who knows how hard it is to get to this time of the year and get themselves, within the playoffs and the final group. So it's just sometimes a maturity factor, and your best players got to rise up and play great, and your other guys can't get you beat.
I always say it, during the championship run, there's going to be somebody that you did not expect to make a play that's going to absolutely rock the entire team and inspire them in a way that only they can do it because nobody expected them to make that play. And every Super Bowl team that I've watched, one moment or one person that did something in the game where you say, man, we didn't expect that, and certainly I believe it's going to happen in this year's Super Bowl, but I think it happens in each one of these divisional games, right? Because when you look at it, all the big time players will be accounted for, so it's got to be somebody else.
Well, I was, I'm blessed to be in Hawaii right now, so I didn't see but the highlights of the first game, and it looked like the big time player put it on his back and said, "I'm ready, let's go."
Oh, no doubt.
And that also is part of how you win in the playoffs.
That Baltimore defense, man, I can't believe that they limited them to 3 points the entire day. They never got inside the red zone. I mean, that's just great football.
They've had a good defense since Marvin was there.
Look at that.
They've been good, and the addition of Roquan really elevated their game a year ago at the trade deadline.
Do you think a middle linebacker can really do the kind of things that make a defense great? You say a great middle linebacker can change the entire defense.
Well, I experienced it a few times before in my career. So answer your question, Alfred. I agree.
How good was Vontaze, man? How good was Vontaze? I love watching that dude.
Vontaze was very good. He just, unfortunately, he played in a different era than where you played, and when Ray played, and when Derek Brooks played. And Derek would try to explain that to him all the time. Every time we had to do a hearing, Derek tried to explain that to him, that Vontaze, you're playing a different game than I played. You have to learn to play within the parameters of today's football.
Right.
Roquan really elevated the trajectory of that defense. And he made Queen a better player. He made Patrick Queen a better player because of how hard he played, how he runs to the football, and how smart he is. He elevated the whole group.
That's something I played with the great Bill Romanowski, and it's one thing to talk about playing the game the right way, but when you really have somebody on your team, coach, that plays the right way, man, you just know it. It shows up, man, like nothing else. I mean, playing with Romo, he played with a different energy, and I think it was inspiring actually to be on a team with somebody who runs to the ball with intent to get there to do harm. Is that what you're saying Roquan Smith does?
Yes, he really did. And Bill learned that with his foundation in the NFL, where he started with the 49ers and that group of linebackers that he played with. So I was there in camp with the 49ers as an intern coach when Bill was a rookie.
So you saw, who was that? It was that Keena? Was that Keena who was running like
Keena,
that?
It was Farnhorst. It was, the other guy's name slipped my mind. But, the three guys, but they were big and they would run to the football. They played well,
Is this roughing? I don't think so. I don't think it was a penalty.
Oh my goodness! Did they call that? Did they call unnecessary roughness?
See, Alfred, you'd have to change your game now too, bro.
No, man, I still aim at the knees, coach. I'm good at the knees, coach. Hey, look, these quarterbacks these days, I tell you what, man, I can't wait to see how they call the game tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, seeing that game between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Both of those guys last week took off running. Josh Allen gave a half slide and ran it all the way for a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, I can't believe this dude dropped his head and tried to truck stick, run over a player from last weekend. I just thought, I don't even know how to play these quarterbacks anymore. First of all, you say you can't hit them, and then you get in a situation where they're running with the football, trying to run through you. Yeah, man, I'm not down for it.
At 245 pounds, no less.
Ooh.
Yeah, 245. I'm just saying. But when they go into the slide position, you're supposed to hold up.
Yeah. All of a sudden, it once because of you may get trucked, but all of a sudden they slide, and now you got to somehow avoid even touching them. But that's where we are. It was interesting when my last years on the competition committee, John Elway was on there with me, and believe me, John was not for how they are officiating today's games. John said we're football players too.
Right,
you know,
right.
you know.
So, Marvin, what makes a good linebacker?
I really believe, no wasted steps, quick off the mark. He's got to have hip explosion and extension, and discipline with his eyes.
There you go. Guys, my family's saying it's time to eat. I'm going to get out of here.
All right, Alfred.
Have a great football weekend.
Hey, love you, big fella.
All right, man. Good to talk to you. Good to see you.
So are the linebackers better today than they were 20 years ago?
Well, I think across the board in today's football, they've got to be more athletic. I think a lot of the great linebackers could play in today's game because they're all smart enough and could adapt. But you don't have the old-fashioned, big, strong middle linebacker anymore that was in yesteryear football because of the formations and so forth.
Hey, we see the Packers. Coach, I'm Darren McKee, DMac. I'm a pal of everybody's here. You don't know me, but that's cool. My kid went to Arizona State, so, forks up. I'll give you that.
Forks up. Well, no, I got this. I got the shocker this week, bro.
All right. Hey, and my other son's best friend was a pitcher, Harry Gustin from the University of Hawaii. So We'll go there, and he got drafted by the Padres. So we're good all over. The Packers in the red zone here. The Broncos were brutal in the red zone. What do teams that struggle in the red zone do, and what do teams that are successful in the red zone do, especially inside like the 10, 15-yard line?
Well, I think, first off, I think the teams that struggle in the red zone probably don't do a good enough job combining the run and the pass and making the defense defend both. They generally get one-dimensional, whether they're always going to try and run it in, they're always going to try and throw it in, and they get one-dimensional. The best red zone teams really keep pressure on you, run and pass. The field gets shortened, but they have a way to make you defend the entire field down there.
Man, this game is just slowed down. Do you like the pace of this, Coach?
Well, I got it behind me. I have to turn my laptop around.
Oh, all right.
But that's okay. But no, I do think the league office is really wants the game to get sped up, and I'm sure that it'll be another point of emphasis again this year. After this season, because they have had some brutally long games this year, and longer than they want.
So Marvin, you were on the competition committee for all those years, and we watch it. Everybody complains about this, complains about that, but the people on the committee are genuinely interested in making the game better, right?
Yeah, they're usually given a task, to study, to meet on, talk about, discuss, and come up with direction on what they think is the best way to move forward. And a lot of time it does involve making something simpler for the players and coaches to understand better so that the officials can do their job much easier.
All right, I'll give you one. How close was just getting rid of kickoffs? Seriously. And the idea of just you score, you get the ball, it's 4th and 15 at the 30 or whatever, something like that. How close was that?
There was always, when a rule like that comes up and it came up, there's always the pushback from the teams that already have a great returner. Okay? So there's going to be some pushback. So then they try to do the compromise. How can we compromise this? Then they involve the kicking game coaches. Hey, you guys give us some solutions. Let's you guys think about some things and give us some solutions where we don't get rid of it, but we reduce the player injury factor. And I think that's the big thing.
Well, it's just a bad play now, Coach. I mean, it's just it's a boring play. It's so rarely does anything happen off of it. A punt's a more interesting play than a kickoff. And a pass is a way more interesting play. than a kickoff. That's I guess where I stand. Where are you with stuff like that?
Well, I will tell you that, when they changed the rule, everybody said, oh, we're just going to pooch it up in the air and make the guy return it. And I'm like, no, we're not going to risk guys getting hurt.
Right.
We're going to get the touchback. Now if they kick it to us, we're going to be a great return team. So that's the way I looked at it. That, I didn't want to get guys hurt unless they were aligned in a way where we could take advantage of them having maybe a big guy back there they couldn't field the football.
Who do you compare Lamar Jackson to?
Oh, my gosh. He's probably a combination of Michael Vick, Steve Young, and, you guys probably don't even remember Fran Tarkenton like I do.
I do. Of course I do. Of course.
But he's faster than, like Fran Tarkenton. But the other two guys could run. He throws, he makes most of the throws now. He's worked hard to be a better pocket passer, but he still throws well on the move.
He's so
good.
And
he's very dynamic, throughout.
Hey, who's Jaden Daniels going to be?
Jaden's got it factor.
No kidding.
And, we were always worried about him taking too many hits, with his little slender body.
Yeah.
But he has matured, and he's put on some weight and some strength and so forth. And he's fast like Lamar. I mean, Lamar never ran a 40. And unfortunately, Lamar's first start, I was coaching against him. And I know our DBs had to change angles because they didn't know how fast he was. We had already played him earlier in the year and beaten them with him and his little package. But when he became the starter, it became a different game.
Yeah, I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. My son hates him, football hate, because he left ASU. But I didn't blame him at all. I was like, no, that makes sense. I get it. And but I was surprised, Coach, in all honesty. I just did not think he would improve that much where he is right now. I love it. I'm a huge Jaden Daniels fan. And I just think, like, we talk about the Broncos, obviously, here in Denver. If you can't get up to number 3, I don't think you're going to get Jaden Daniels. I really believe that. I think he's going to go early and go high.
He's really he really made a jump from last year to this season. And you do you got to feel great about that, and you got to feel good about, they made a hard decision, and it worked out, and I'm happy for them. And obviously everything has worked out in his favor, which is a great thing. So everybody was disappointed, but
sure, of course,
he made the best. He made the very best of it.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I mean, you got to do the best for yourself at the end of the day, listen, trust me, being part of the ASU family, it sucks. But, I
was one of the last people he never talked to.
Was that right?
Yes. Hey, we're good, right? You come see me, right? Yeah, Coach. And then he disappeared.
What would you have told him? What would you have told him if you got that one conversation?
I don't know. I just wanted to, they were putting things in place to really try and help him. And, I just wanted to make sure that he was making the right decision.
Yeah. Of course.
How does this rain, which is worse, cold rain or snow?
Oh, my gosh. I would say snow because it's also got the element of the dampness and wet, The rain, I think you can, because the cold being 45, 50 degrees is not really that cold when you get down to it. And as long as they continue to work to keep things as dry as they can, I don't think that's as hard as if it were snowing and then you have the combination of both.
Well, it's coming down pretty hard, and it's 7-6 Niners at the 2-minute warning. So, man, it is a slug-it-out sort of game right now.
Well, to me, in watching the early part of the game, that shows me what Green Bay has done is when those two wide receivers will go in there and block a defensive end. right there, it shows what kind of football team they are. Because if your receivers won't block and your DBs won't tackle, you struggle to be elite in the National Football League, because now you're playing shorthanded. And so you have to have those guys execute their jobs just like the O-line does and the D-line does.
And Green Bay's doing that.
Yeah, and that's why they are where they are right now.
Yeah.
With a young football team that everybody said they were young, with Jordan Love, really his first year as a full-time starter, and all the things they've done, why not us? I mean, that they're playing their tails off.
All right, so the Niners are dealing with some stuff. Debo's banged up a little bit. Christian's kind of banged up. It's raining. That bye week's interesting, isn't it, Coach? Like, just getting into the playoffs. I mean, essentially, you want your guys to be healthy. And the Ravens did seem to struggle a little bit at the beginning, but then they got it together. I don't know if the Niners are going through this too, or the Packers are just putting things in front of them. It's not making sense. Not sure.
Well, the hardest part of that is, what did they do week 18? Did they play guys, or did they sit them out, and now they're out for 2 weeks?
What was your philosophy on that? What did you like doing on that?
Well, I never got that opportunity.
Oh, did you not? Never?
No. Well, I mean, we got it. We got in the last week of the year where, I wanted the guys to play some.
Yeah.
Where we couldn't improve our seed, and if they could, I wanted them to play some just to keep being sharp, the preparation. And to me, it's really hard to say that, we're going to play DMac, Peter, but Peter doesn't have to play. How do you go to pros and say, well, you're more valuable than that, So I want it, just like the preseason, I want everybody to be involved in that way. So we continue to be a football team.
Can a quarterback be drafted outside of the first round and be given the right development that it takes to succeed as a starter, Coach? Or is it just, man, you better be good right away or we're just moving on?
No, I think he can be. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins may be, one of the examples of that, who's had a very good career, who was not drafted first, second, and I think maybe he was drafted in the third round.
I think it was fourth, actually.
Maybe fourth, yeah.
I think it was fourth.
But, you have Purdy, obviously, Tom Brady's kind of he's the one outside the box. But, I do think in today's football, with the number of assistants and so forth, that you can groom a quarterback to grow and do your system. And frankly, there's just not enough first-round picks to go around like that.
Well, and I think that's what's happening. And because teams realize, I understand that guys who are really second, third round value are getting drafted higher than they should be. I totally get it. But it looks like the NFL has just said, well, okay, this is just what we have to do, because teams are just not waiting around anymore. And so it kind of trickles up, I suppose. So guys who are really getting drafted in the second, third round, Coach, they really may have fifth, sixth round value. And when is an NFL coach going to be patient enough to let that guy develop? And it seems less and less. I mean, everything in the NFL is like, John Fox, my great friend, used to say, you're always a 2-game losing streak from being fired. And, he's being facetious, but it doesn't seem like there's much patience. That's all.
Not really. No, there's not much patience. I mean, ownership in a lot of places has changed over. They're not the same football people they once used to be that own these franchises now with the value of them. So that part has changed. But I do think the quarterback, if you don't have one, you literally have no shot.
Right. Zero.
No shot. And right. it just gilds the rest of your football team. They're just they walk out there with that half look on their face, like, oh, here we go today, and it's hard.
Do coaches and teams know when you don't have a quarterback? Like, do you just know it? I mean, you don't say it maybe, but do you just kind of know it?
Well, you just hope that whoever you're playing with doesn't get you beat. And you as the coaches have to put him in situations where he doesn't fail. enough that you lose. And that's what you got to do, and allow him to grow and move forward as much as he can. And which means, number one, taking care of the football, but hopefully he can also make some unscripted plays.
Well, I might as well ask you while we got you. What do you think of Russell Wilson these days? Where are you at with Russ?
I thought he played better this season. I know he didn't light it up like they hoped he would all the time, but I think that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Can he exist if he, I don't know. There just seems to have been a lot of other things that came with him, and maybe now that's all behind him, and he's a prideful young man, and hey, let's go. Let me make the best of this and finish my career the right way.
Hey, Coach, I'm right with you. I call people who are in their mid-30s young men, too. I'm right there with you, Coach. That's what I say, too, about guys in their mid-30s. They're all young men to me, that's for sure.
Mid-60s, too, bro.
Hey, Marvin, tell us about halftime. What goes on at halftime if you're the head coach? 7-6 game, goes either way. What are you doing?
Well, I think, number one, Green Bay's going to go in and say, hey, we've basically only stopped ourselves, We've been able to drive the football. Let's continue to make first downs and positive plays and keep driving the football down the field and continue to pressure Jordan Love. I mean, to keep pressure off Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? And keep doing a great job. And when you defend that San Francisco offense, you're defending the field. You're defending the wide plays, the stretch plays, the counter plays, and then all the play action and boots that come off of them. And they're doing a nice job of that. So let's keep that ball in front of us and keep doing a great job of running and tackling, running the football and finish it. If you're San Francisco, now you're sitting there thinking, how do we get some pressure on this guy? They're not a big blitz pressure team. So they're going to have to, pressure with 4, and Green Bay's going to try and shake some guys free in coverage. And they got to do a good job of that. So you're really just saying, hey, this is a 0-0 football game. We got to go out here and outplay them in the second half. We got 30 minutes to go do this. Outplay them in the second half. Let's go. And we got to do it one series at a time. We don't need to get ahead of ourselves.
Hey, Coach, have you talked to Antonio Pierce since he got the gig with the Raiders officially?
I did actually talk to him briefly this morning.
Well, hey, man, that dude earned it, didn't he? I mean, we as much as we hate the Raiders here in Denver, it was like, give me a break. The guy's smoking cigars with his crew. They're threatening to quit if he doesn't get the job or whatever Max Crosby was saying. I really don't know anybody who's deserved a job more than Antonio Pierce in the NFL.
Yeah, he really has worked hard at it. He really did a really good job. I happened to be in that building a few times this year, and actually came in 3 times after losses. After they lost to Kansas City the first time, after they lost to the Vikings, and after they lost to the Colts. And there was never a hangover. There never was, from the staff or the players, there was no pouting. Everybody went right back to work with a great focus, and they got ready to go play better the next week. And he was a great job, he and his staff, carrying that message throughout that building. And the players.
How do you keep that balance from? You got to be a leader. You got to, you're in charge. You're the head coach. But you also have to connect with the guys, too. And I do see it with Antonio Pierce and D'Amico Ryans and maybe O'Connell. Well, they had a tough year in Minnesota this year. But, Dan Campbell, obviously. What's the secret to that? How do you figure that out, that blend?
I think for, I know for Antonio, and I'm sure a little bit for Dan, they've coached the football team the way they preferred to be coached, and led. And I know in Antonio's case, he won the leaders of the football team over right away from how he was every single day he came to work before he became the interim head coach. That's what they respected. They respected how he carried himself as a former player and how he had sat in their seats and walked their walk. They respected that. So when he became the interim head coach, that grew because they they followed him, and they were able to uplift the rest of the building through their own internal leadership.
All right. Well, Coach, Peter, I didn't.
So Coach, at halftime though, is it the head coach? Is it the position coaches? Who's meeting with who?
Well, when you go in at halftime right away, first thing you'll do is the guys will be on their own a little bit to go to the bathroom and do those things. And of course, I'm sure they check their phones.
Of course.
And but the coaches, offense and defensively, will get together and they will kind of review the first half, talk about what they want to present to the players going out in the second half. What are the openers offensively? What things gave them the problems on defense that they had to make sure that they put up on the boards and show and talk through with the players to make sure they're good. And the coordinators will then go in and address the offense or the defense, and then they'll break up for the last minute or so and give the position coaches a last chance to review anything with their guys as they're walking back out to the field, and the guys are rushing back to the press box that are up there.
And the head coach?
And then the head coach would call everybody up and give his final couple words, like we said, of what his direction is right now is, let's go out and let's win this second half. Let's put, let's stack good plays upon good plays and win each series, and we'll win the football game.
Coach, when does the coach scream at the players, if you don't play better, I'm going to get my ass fired? What point do you scream that at halftime?
If you're at that point, it's already over. It's already over.
They know it. The players know it already. It's like,
they already. If that's your last result, you're in trouble already.
All right, so you're a head coach. Game's on the line. Third quarter. What goes through your mind to call a fake punt?
Well, you're not going to fake a punt unless, as you guys have studied them prior to playing the game, that you saw something where you could fake it against them, where they weren't sound, where they were cheating for the return and somebody wasn't checking actually the punter on one side or the other, and then you could run away from if they were just checking with one guy and the guy really wasn't doing his job. And that's the same thing. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to fake the punt. I'm going to onside kick. You do those things when you see something that you feel you can take advantage of in the opponent.
Well, we got halftime. The Packers blocked a pretty makeable field goal there. Or rather, I'm sorry, So, nice. The Packers had a pretty good half. Even though they didn't score any touchdowns, it's halftime. San Fran's up 7-6. Peter, I think we should let the coach go and actually watch the game at halftime. Yes. So I think we say thanks to Marvin and say thanks and appreciate you joining us.
All right, guys. Good to be with you, man.
Okay.
Take care.
Because Thank you. See, look who we got, the doctor in the house. Come on. What's up, Dave?
What's up, man? I had to put doctor because Rob always calls me Dr. David, so I put it in there just to be funny.
Well, it's been a minute since how you been? How you're killing it from everything I can tell.
Appreciate it, man. I've been well, just one day at a time, trying to grow the PT business, try to, change healthcare a little bit, one day at a time.
Hey, Rob, you should put yourself in here because Dave, and Peter needs a break anyway. His voice is killing him. But David Bruton is, oh, my God, talk about the man. David Bruton, are you kidding me? So good to see David. But Rob, Dave, too. What's your relationship with David?
My sister-in-law actually helps watch his dog from time to time, and that's how we got connected. So we have a deep relationship from long term. Yep. But David, you were telling a story. You did an injury prevention clinic at our school a week ago, and how Peyton Manning helped you improve your defense when you're on the field. Could you share that story again?
Oh yeah, I just remember, one time in practice, it's just showing how cerebral Peyton was. He could always tell when I was rotating down. Didn't matter what side of the ball I was on, right or left. He's like, Brute, your left foot's always back when you're coming down. And I'm like, how the heck do you know what I'm about to do? And it's my body. I don't even know these tendencies. But it just goes to show like how cerebral he was and how how in tune with the game that he was, that he would try to pick up little things about anybody just to help his game and help his performance.
How close you following the NFL these days? I mean, I know you're busy with a million things, but how close you following it?
Actually, I've been a little more in tune to it this year than I have since I've played.
Okay.
I've been to more Broncos games this year than I have the last 7. So definitely been a little more active, a little more in tune with what's going on around the league.
All right, what do you think then? Give us, Broncos. What do you think? Where's your head at with them?
Woo! Yeah, so we're gonna go there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, hey, brother, you don't have to be mean about it. You can be.
Nobody's being mean. I think no matter how you slice it, they're going to be in financial purgatory. I think they're on the hook no matter how Russell's contract, how his playing time, however it plays out. Now, does that mean they start moving players, cutting players, trading players to try to create space, cap space? I'd hate to see.
Probably.
I'd hate to see that, but more than likely, that's what it's going to have to be, right? One thing that I said, there's been a great improvement with Russell this year, like as far as like his form of play, his productivity, confidence in itself. Definitely was a lot more apparent that he could play the position and play it at the high level that we wanted him to do last year. So I think we see a different side of the coin, or another chapter in his book as far as the type of player that he is. Now, with that,
what team do you don't think he's coming back to the Broncos though, right? Or do you?
I mean, what do you do? Do we have a first round pick? Do you have?
Yeah, they're at 12. They're at 12. I mean,
they're at 12. Okay.
I mean,
So there's a chance, but again, like I said, are they willing to bite that financial bullet? Right. Or do you give him another year and see if he can build on it?
Well, I think the problem though is Sean Payton just doesn't.
That relationship right there. I was just about to get on that. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
my thing is, how can you, and I loved what Ryan Clark had said, right? Like, you got the right one and not the wrong one. Like from day one, you're charging at your franchise guy, right? You're the head of the team, the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Since day one, he's got you in his ear. Don't forget, he's had the fans in his ear all last year and still into this year, right? Like, he's getting it from in-house and out-of-house as far as like, oh, Russell sucks, he sucks. Oh, you can't do this, do better, yada, yada, yada. And I think he's shown that he's able to play. And a lot of those games this year, a few of those games this year wasn't solely on him. Like,
no, definitely
not.
not.
The Jets game, like at halftime, you give them a long run right out the gate with defense. Obviously Miami debacle. Think about the Washington game where they rounded off 23 points or something like that in the second half. Like, that's. Right. I mean, Russell could only do so much in certain instances. Do I think he had bad games? Yes. Every quarterback's had a bad game. But I think he's still getting scrutiny from last year's performance.
Hey, do you have a relationship with Kareem at all, Kareem Jackson?
No, I don't. The only time I interacted with him was when we played the Texans.
Yeah, because, dude, how do you play safety anymore, Dave? Like, what do you do? How do you do it?
You don't. You really don't. Right? You don't. Like, guys say it's a dirty hit when you hit them in the ribs or down low and hurt their knee. You're trying to aim at their chest. They double catch it. Now they're low and you're still getting fined and penalized. Though I think you all with Marvin were talking about it earlier. It's like, it's just a different era. Like, if he was playing back then, I've seen some of the comments, if he was playing back then in that era where they didn't give two damns about player safety, like, he would thrive, right?
David, man, you would be losing money left and right, brother. You would be. I mean, but that's how you play.
I would start aiming low.
Well, we had, hey man, we had Chris Harris on our radio show, and I'm on with Tyler Plumbus and Scott Hastings now, and so we have Chris on, and we go, well, what do you think about Kareem? And Chris goes, does he like money?
That's right. You would change it. You would change it 110%.
And that's what he said too. It's like Chris did, he wasn't trying to rip on him or anything. It's just like, hey man, you gotta do you like money? I mean,
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but and even then, like if it's not about if you don't care about money, you made Peyton Manning money or whatever.
Yeah.
What about the thing you're doing with the team? Like every time you do it, it's 15 yards and a first down. 15
Right.
yards and a first down.
Right.
Like you're just extending the play. So at the end of the day, does it become more so selfish?
Interesting. Do you think it? I mean, not to pick on Kareem, but if that's happening, is the rest of the defense looking at you like, come on, man, you got to get it together here, right? Like we all got to do it.
Yeah. I think so. I think it comes to a point in time. It's like, man, this is it's becoming a lot. Like, yeah, it's cool, you did it. Now, everybody knows you're going to try to head hunt. Everybody knows. All right, can we chest hunt? Can we stomach hunt? Like, can we knee hunt? Like, can we hunt another way and still be an enforcer?
You know what's funny? I've talked to quite a few receivers, and they have said, and they've told me, if somebody's going to come at me, I'd rather have them come at the upper rather than the lower. Because when you come at the lower and you come at their knees, I mean, it's a weird thing to say because concussion to me is a way more serious thing to deal with for your entire life than like an ACL. But, you know, dude, come on now. With the NFL concussions, these guys come back in 3 weeks or 3 weeks. What am I talking about? All week. 10, you know, it's ridiculous.
10 days sometimes. Yeah, even sooner than that. Yeah, I think the time missed initially is the immediate impact is greater with an ACL versus a concussion, right? Like you're missing 2 weeks, maybe 3 with a concussion. With the ACL, obviously you're missing 9-10 months.
Yeah, but you know, and you know better than anybody, life is long, right? And I get it. You're out 9 months, 10 months, but ACLs heal, Dave. They heal. They heal great. I've had a ACL and meniscus and wouldn't even know. And you know, and I'm an old fart. And but those concussion stuff, man, that shit scares the hell out of me, man. How are you doing with everything these days? How's your head? How you feeling about stuff?
There's been time, you know, I still get headaches, you know, every week, once a week, every other week, something like that. I've had a few days where I've had to cancel patients because my headaches have gotten so bad throughout when I'm working at the clinic. So I've been doing some things as far as like neurofeedback lately. I've been reading and doing research on creatine and looking at the whole mushrooms, not the psychedelic ones, but the Umbo brands, and see how that can help with sleep management, anxiety, all the different things that come along with having a history of those concussions.
You talking concussion? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, are you talking to Plummer at all? Because he's the world expert on that. Are you?
Yeah. Been talking to him quite a bit. I've been having a sample, and I've definitely felt a little more energetic taking some of the concoctions, mixtures of different types of mushrooms and these droplets. So I've definitely seen a positive effect in that regard. And then the intensity of the headaches have definitely decreased. Now, how much is that due to? I think it's a culmination of the multiple things that I'm doing, but I'm definitely trying to do a little bit more research, because I got kids. I want to be able to play with them and function with them as I get older.
Well, I've talked to NFL guys, Dave, and they're convinced because they smoked marijuana while they were playing that they aren't suffering the same post-career as guys who are on like pills. They're convinced about it. And I don't know if you got an opinion about that one way or the other, but hey, man, I think when it comes to this stuff, you should keep an open mind to everything, right? I mean, you never know.
Hey, Doc. Wait, hold on. This is Peter. What do you got for laryngitis?
I am not that type of doctor. I think you need refer out.
What about some mushrooms? I'll try anything. Mushrooms, edibles. What do we got?
Reishi, some cordyceps, all that, lion's mane. Try it all. Put it all in a blender and let's go.
I'm going chicken soup right now.
All right, you feeling better, Peter? You getting back into this conversation? You said this. Hey, Dave, let me tell you something funny. So this is the second week in a row where Peter set all the shit up, and like he can't even be part of it, or he's barely part of it. So Peter,
you get a couple questions out there.
You can't talk.
Chicken soup, baby.
He's sending me text messages. DMac, you got to save me here, and I'm like, it's your guys, Peter.
I take a soup of chicken soup. I'm good.
All right. Well, we're at halftime, and the Niners are up 7-6 on the Packers. I think that's a win, Dave, for the Packers because what were they, 10-point dogs in this one? Something like that. So
Something like that, yeah.
I think if the Packers just kind of can keep things close and then they, I think that's a win for them.
I think they were the hottest team going to the playoffs. So I think they were definitely a team that had all the.
No, we're losing Dave a little bit.
Oh,
yeah,
complain about me.
Complain about me. He's the guy with a doctorate. Okay.
Dave, Dave, I don't know if you can hear us, but you're the wrong. Something happened. What happened there, Rob? He turned his camera the wrong way.
I'll take him off screen. Oh, he just got disconnected. But
all right,
what's really cool with his clinic is he's got a concussion treatment room for athletes. So when he's talking about doing all the research he does for concussions, he's got a dark room. It's like a virtual headset to help retrain your brain with like tracking with your eyes and stuff like that. It's pretty impressive.
There's zero doubt, and I've like guys who play, I'm fine to interview them and sort of whatever. I don't become friends with them, Peter, until after they're done. Not really. I feel more comfortable like that. But I become friends with a lot of these guys after they're done playing. A lot. And it's so similar, Peter. And I'm sure you've got a lot of clients that are like this too. Everybody's just concerned about like how you at. Where's your head at? How you feeling? What's going on? And I don't know if you can talk at length about it, but your obligation as an agent, I'm sure, doesn't stop when you guys stop playing. And I wonder how big of a concern of all their concerns that is with your current clients.
We always worry about that, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
ALS is the big issue. You never want one of your players to get ALS, and it's just scary. That and laryngitis.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I asked you a very complicated question there. So we'll keep it lighter. The second half is getting going here. It looks like Deebo Samuel is out.
Yeah,
so Brood, how does that impact things here for the Niners? You think with Samuel, just like you got one of your key guys just gone? Oh, did we lose Dave?
I think his iPad's glitching out. This kid is probably playing too many games on it.
Right.
Yeah, that must be it.
That was a good question, though. Look at Deebo, man. Oh, man, that's rocky. Peter, who else is coming up, though? Not that I'm trying to rush off Dave. I love Dave.
We got Albert Breer whenever David's done.
Okay.
Insider from Sports Illustrated.
Oh, my God. Really?
Wow.
Does he still have a job today? Or
well, what time is it?
Right. Dude, that was sad seeing Sports Illustrated go away. That sucked.
What was better than Friday afternoon racing home to beat your brothers so you could be the first one to read it? So who was going to be on the cover?
I devoured it. It was my Bible. It was where I grew a love for not only sports, but sports writers and, behind the scenes stuff. And I got to know a few of those writers. I had a feud with Michael Silver, but we buried that. We're good. Austin Murphy, I was pretty friendly with. I got to be friendly with Rick Riley, stuff like that.
Who didn't have a feud with Silver? But I've never had a feud with Albert Breer.
Albert Breer's the best. Are you kidding? Albert Breer. Are you in Buffalo?
Guys, what's up?
Are you in Buffalo right now?
Yeah, I am. It's pretty cold. It's actually like even cold in my hotel room, believe it or not. I don't know why I can't fix that, but I as Peter knows, I drove from Lake Placid. My kid had a hockey tournament up there, and it's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Albert, my kid was in a squirt tournament in North Dakota in February. I feel your pain, brother. It's awesome though. It's great being a hockey dad. I don't know what level your kid's playing at these days.
He's a squirt now.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't that fun?
It's a lot. It's definitely I'd say like the intensity of the parents is like, I coach my kids football in the fall. Most of the parents for the most part in that are like pretty level. Hockey parents are just different.
I've been through it. I've been from Muddy Mites to through high school. It chills out a little bit because it's interesting
because the parents figure out everyone's not getting a scholarship.
No.
Do they ever figure that out?
Yes. Hockey. Well, hockey figures it out pretty damn quick, actually. Hockey, yeah, you kind of know by like 14 in hockey what the truth is with these kids, really, in hockey, for whatever reason. So it's kind of quick in hockey, but squirts are like, what, 10, 11, something like that?
He's 9. Yeah, he's a 2014.
Hey, Bruton, you got to love that. Albert's on like a travel tournament with his 9-year-old travel team all over the country.
All over the place.
How many out-of-state trips you taking this year, Albert, with your 9-year-old's hockey team?
Just 2. So we went to Jay Peak in Vermont, and we went to Lake Placid, and then we talked about Florida, and then that's like where a lot of us drew the line because that was going to be like a week before Christmas. So it's like they like asking us to go to Tampa the week before Christmas, I think, was a bridge too far for a lot of us. You know,
I'm surprised you didn't think about that tournament in squirt tournament in North Dakota is actually kind of a big deal. That's a big one. Well, yeah, don't worry about it. Forget it. Don't worry about it.
Lake Placid was pretty cool, though. Lake Placid,
for sure.
Yeah.
So Albert, for those who don't know, is the big insider, NFL insider for Sports Illustrated, but he's worked for everybody. He's as dialed in as anybody. He's a much more, he's Adam Schefter with a little bit more modesty.
Well, what Peter or Albert, just what's going on with Sports Illustrated? What's the deal?
Yeah, it feels
or
like
you don't want to say. If you don't,
no,
want to
it's just said no, but it's like one of those things where it's like, people like have accused me of, they accuse you of everything when you're a reporter, and now I got to accuse other people of inaccurate reporting.
Okay.
Because stuff that got out there to begin with wasn't exactly accurate. It's sort of complicated, and we're definitely like in a very uncertain spot. But
all right.
I'm I've loved my time there. I've been there for 7 years.
Yeah.
And the idea that we're shut down right now is wrong. Like I'm in Buffalo to cover a playoff game tomorrow. I'll be at one of the championship games next weekend. I'll be at the Senior Bowl the days after that. I'll be at the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. So, you asked me where we're going to be in 6 months or a year. I don't know.
Okay.
But at least for now, we're still up and running.
All right. Well, I'll leave it alone because we're just here to have some fun. I didn't want to get too serious,
it helps me that I can clarify.
It's only because most of us grew up. I did Sports Illustrated. Like it's like the thing of it not around is like unimaginable, literally unimaginable.
So Albert, what's it like covering a big game? You've covered them all. Do you feel part of the process?
Yeah, it's I'd say what I'm always looking to get, Peter, is like I'm just looking to you look to differentiate yourself in any environment that you're in my business, and so it's whatever I can do to create something unique and pull on my relationships, and so tomorrow for me, like covering the Chiefs and Bills, it'll start in the morning with and I have to cover all the games, so I made calls after the Ravens Texans game. I talked to Patrick Queen, the Ravens linebacker, after that one. Do the same thing after this game. I'll have stuff on all of the games, but as far as like covering the game itself in person, obviously a lot depends on who wins, and then after the game, you try to tell a story in a unique and different way than anybody else is. And so it's a little different than like a lot of my day-to-day stuff, which might be more news-oriented. But it's, you want to give something. I had a boss who said to me once, like, take them where they can't go. And that's like, I think, sort of the crux of all of it for us, and I think that's in every line of journalism is like, how do you take people where they can't go? And sometimes it's like a piece of inside information they wouldn't be getting otherwise. Sometimes it's actually going into a place that they wouldn't normally be able to get into, but take them where they can't go. So yeah, like you're just sort of looking for something unique in a unique way to tell the story of what happened over those 3 hours that everybody saw on television.
What would you say the story of Russell Wilson is, Albert?
Oh man. I think this is, I think he has the same problem. He will have the same problem that Tim Tebow had, that Carson Wentz had, that Jay Cutler had, which is, I think like what happens with a lot of guys when they aren't at the point anymore where somebody's going to bring him in as a clear-cut starter. It's like, okay, like where does this guy fit in? And people sometimes make the mistake of thinking like it's just the top 32 quarterbacks starting and then the next 32 are all backups. Right. The job of backup quarterback is much different than the job of starting quarterback. And so, your backup has to fit in a certain way. And I think your backup has to, your backup can't be one of the most famous people on the team, or it's harder. It's hard to do that, And so how is he going to fit in? How is he going to be a resource to the starter? If he's paired with a younger player, how is he going to mesh with that younger player and help or hurt that younger player's development? Those are all things that I think are part of the equation. And so Russell, based on his history, that's something you've got to ask. Like, if I'm a team, it's like, do I want to bring in Russell Wilson? Like, say you're the Bears, right? And you're going to draft Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Do I want to bring in Russell Wilson as the bridge, or do I want to bring in Case Keenum as the bridge?
Well, I'll tell you from covering, man.
Wilson as the bridge, or do I want? I mean, it's just like that's the question,
Like some of these guys, like Keenum or these other, they don't bring anything with them. They're good, right? Russ,
like most people, I would say most teams want their backups to blend in with the furniture. Like that's it's just what it is. And like the idea of your backup quarterback being a celebrity. I mean, again, like that's why Tim Tebow had trouble getting a shot anywhere else, because teams were like, yeah, like it's worth it to bring in a guy like that if he's like one of the 10 best players in your team. But if he's like the 35th best player or the 40th best player in your team, like we don't want to deal with all of that, And I think that's the problem that Russell runs into. Now, what I could see is like, does he go to like I think like you look at the teams that are like in the middle of the first round that might need quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. So Atlanta, Vegas, like is there a team in the middle of the first round where that team has determined we're probably not quite bad enough to draft one and we don't want to trade up to go get one? So can we find a guy to give us a year or two?
At $1 million.
The idea of Atlanta is sort of fascinating because if that's Belichick, Belichick loves reclamation projects.
Yeah.
Could something like that work? I think it would almost have to be a situation like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for Russ, it's Atlanta, maybe Pittsburgh, maybe New England, but these are a lot of maybes. Brute, did you play with Tebow? David, did you play with Tebow?
Yeah. I was here with Tebow when the pass to DT that playoff year. Yeah,
that was a fucking ridiculous year. That was the stupidest, most awesome year of all time in Broncos history, Bruce.
Well, crazy shit was happening at the end of every game.
How do you win a game in Arrowhead completing 2 passes?
I know. Hey, I know the answer to that. Because that was the only game Tebow started that you guys never trailed. That's why. It's the only game that he didn't have to come back from, so you could afford to just, trivia question. Decker caught the touchdown pass. Who was the other guy that caught the pass in that game that you played in?
Ooh.
2 passes he completed. It's a great trivia question. Decker was one for a touchdown. Who was the other guy?
Oh, was it a running back?
Nope. Number 12.
Andre Caldwell? Bubba?
Matthew Willis.
Willis? Oh, so Caldwell came after that. Oh, wow.
But anyways, that's just
one of my there was the Marion Barber game too.
The Marion, why did he go out of bounds, Alfred?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. How about Miami? You're down 15 with 3.5 minutes to go and you won.
You know what's the craziest thing about that was? Like, I always thought it was super crazy how that happened at the same time as Linsanity. Like, they were going on at the same time. And both of them made no sense. like neither of them made any sense.
No, but the greatest story of all time from that is as incredible as that was, the Broncos did, Dave. You guys lost your last 3 games, including that horrible Tebow Orton Chiefs game that was terrible. So this is the craziest story, Albert, of all time. And you may already know it. But that week before the Pittsburgh playoff game, the plan was for Brady Quinn to go in on 3rd down. And they had been practicing Quinn being ready to go.
I remember that, yeah.
One of the most bananas stories, but the game just sort of was going good, Dave. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Quinn was getting ready to go in, right?
Yeah. I mean, we were thinking about that 2-quarterback system in a sense, right? But yeah, defense was able to hold their own. I mean, I think that's what we did most of the time for us to win those games, right? But
Yep.
yeah, it was the most insane thing that I've ever been a part of.
It had to piss you guys off a little. He was getting all the credit.
Hey,
you guys played great that year. It had to piss you guys off.
I was just about to say that. Like, I was about to call DMac out on it. It's like, DMac, y'all whole media frenzy. It was Tebow mania. Didn't even give 2 shits about the defense. I'm like, we helped hold teams to 7 points, to 10 points, to 14 points.
Every week.
Even the games we lost. Even the yeah, we're holding them to 14. You can't score 15 points, like, right, in a league that's averaging 28 points a game. Like,
I talked to Decker after that season. I go, what was it like catching passes from Tebow? And he's like, well, one pass would come in like this, the next pass would come in like that.
Yeah.
It was. But I tell you what, man. It was a special year, and that Pittsburgh game was. I mean, it was bananas, bro. And especially Albert, if you remember, they had just changed the overtime rules. They had just changed them. So when DT scores, listen, man, I'm not putting on DT. He didn't know the game was over, and I don't think half the crowd knew the game was over because it was just so new.
I was so glad the game was over. My Achilles was hurting so damn bad. I was so glad that was the.
Albert. Speaking of Bill Belichick, where does he wind up?
I think Atlanta.
Packers score alert. Packers score.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Packers just scored. Did he get 2 feet in?
Wide. Bad coverage bust there. Melton was wide open. I think he winds up in Atlanta just because I think he badly wants to coach. I think that team is close. And I think a lot of people don't realize how solid they are all the way around, but they need a quarterback. And not that that'll be easy to fix, but if you have Belichick, then you're probably gonna have a good shot of attracting a Kirk Cousins or a Russell Wilson or whoever it is. And I think a lot of it with both him and Harbaugh, with the Chargers, is going to come down to how things are set up. Like how does the business side relate with the football side? Where is ownership and everything? Like I think like with both Bill and with Jim in Atlanta and LA, a lot of whether they go is going to come down to just how things are set up around them. Because I think those teams are willing to pay those guys. I think both those guys, want to coach in the NFL next year. And so, like, it's on the teams to sort of figure that part out.
You think someone's going to pay Bill more than $10 million?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta will. Like, I always struggle with this, Peter, because, like, I look at it like among players, like, what is this? A slot receiver makes $12 million, right? Like a center makes $12 million. Mm-hmm. So are you telling me that like Belichick's not worth what one of those guys is worth?
All right,
he is. I mean, and the owners are all billionaires these days. They can afford it. You're right. They are. You're absolutely right. And it's like when you go with coaches on the cheap, what are you trying to do? I know when Vance Joseph was the head coach for the Broncos, Albert, he was just put in a position to lose because he didn't have any autonomy. He was being told what to do, who to hire. I mean, what chance do you have as a head coach like that?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of it, of course. Like I just I and that's one of the challenges with hiring a younger coach too, is that like he may not have the connections, like to fill out a staff the same way. I mean, if Bill comes, it's a prereq that he's going to get the coaches he wants. Like that's not really the issue. The issue would be, I think, and again, like same with Jim, it's like, all right, like is the owner going to be like in such a place where it's not going to be a problem for me on a day-to-day basis? Is the business side going to be an issue for me? How does personnel work with coaching? Like all of those sorts of things, I think, are like the difference makers in whether Harbaugh takes the Charger job and whether Bill takes the Falcon job.
So Carolina's out then.
I think so. I mean, Tepper his reputation is not great right now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I don't know who they're going to hire. My guess would be like in the front office, they pair one of the analytics guys, an Alec Halaby or Brant Tillis, with Dan Morgan, and then they hire out from there. But it's like I think coaches with options have sort of backed off from that one, and I do think like they're taking a relatively wide open approach to who they name as their coach.
The Packers are up 13-7. Albert's in Buffalo. I lived in Buffalo 5.5 years, Albert. So I know where are you staying? What hotel are you staying at?
The Buffalo Niagara Marriott.
Are you downtown or are you out near Orchard Park?
I'm out like I'm at the one like by the airport. Like the one downtown was $800 a night. I'm not sure if it's all like again like that might be the hockey tournaments. That might not be the football.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, hey, I love my time in Buffalo overall. But you know, man, I dealt with it. The lake effect, the snow, the weather. I've shoveled out the stadium when it was Rich Stadium back in the day and all that.
Yeah.
Brute, how'd you like playing in Buffalo, man? I don't know how many games you got there, but
I only played in one, and that was on Christmas Eve. And I remember seeing it on our schedule, and I was like, dang, I'm gonna be hurt that game. It's cold as hell. But no, it ended up being like 38, 40 degrees, something like that day on Christmas Eve. The only time I played out there.
Yeah, the difference with Buffalo, like we get snow obviously in Denver, it goes away. Because eventually it's going to be 40, 50 degrees or whatever. The thing that sucked in Buffalo, and I think they're experiencing right now, is you get the storm, and it's worse because of lake effect. It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go nowhere.
It just sits there, and then it happens again. So, I mean, I know you just got there, Albert, and good for you for driving. That is a nasty
I didn't have
drive.
much of a choice. I mean, like, you can't fly out of Lake Placid, really. So it was either, like, I go to this other small airport and then fly with a connection. It's going to take 7 hours total.
Fuck that. You're better. You're better on the You're better on the New York State Thruway.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like I didn't want like my flight to get delayed. And then all of a sudden, up there he goes.
Kid him. Yep.
McCaffrey's gone. He's going. He could go.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Christian McCaffrey.
All right, let's get back to the game. Christian McCaffrey. Albert, how much is Christian making these days?
$12 million a
year. Huh?
He's at 12 this year.
Is he at 12 this year? I think his average is 16 though, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what's the next running back that's going to make Christian McCaffrey money?
I don't know if that's going to exist much more. Much longer, right?
I mean, who would it be? I mean, is there a young guy right now that Saquon won't make that much? And he's free and he's a good player, but he's older.
Josh Jacobs won't.
No.
How about Bijan Robinson?
He could down the line. He's pretty good. Maybe he'd be the one.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know if there's ever going to be another one. Seriously. They're so good coming out of college and they're so replaceable. It's ridiculous.
It's just that. Well, that's the problem. It's not like that. I don't think it's like that there aren't good ones. It's that there are too many good ones, Right.
Exactly.
It's too easy to find one. And even if that one isn't as good as Christian McCaffrey, you feel like you can at least approximate it.
Well, I mean, like for the Broncos, if I'm just staying here local with Denver, you got Javonte Williams, who I think, Dave, came back way too soon from his ACL. Way too soon. Mm-hmm. And, an undrafted guy like Jaleel McLaughlin comes in. Pretty good, right? And then Samaje Perine just hanging around. And you kind of look at Javonte, and he made a heroic comeback. But this is what these guys have to do, Dave, and I think they come back too soon. I really do. Because they feel the pressure that if they don't come back, they're going to be replaced, David.
Oh, especially as a young guy, right? Especially you don't have the years in the tank, and like you all were just saying, everybody's replaceable, especially at that position where it's already a 2 running back scheme, and now it's always a revolving door every year, free agency, the draft, in-season trades. Like, it's a revolving door, especially at that position.
So does that make football awesome or terrible?
I mean, it makes college football awful with the revolving door, but it's a whole different bag of worms to dive into. But I mean, I think that's just the way it's always been since the beginning of time. It's always been a revolving door. And what can you do? And can you do more than just play one position? And yada yada yada. I think that's how guys are able to stay in the league. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Samaji plays special teams too, right?
I don't know.
He did in Cincinnati, right?
He might have. I'd have to check that out. But hey, Bruton was a special teams guy. Are you kidding me? We don't have guys like David Bruton special teams.
But as a running back, you got to be Alvin Kamara or McCaffrey. You got to be able to play in the pass game and the run game.
Peter, just kill yourself, Peter. Just what are you doing? Just kill yourself. Peter, I feel bad for you, Peter. You can't even get out a sentence.
It's the R's. I can't do the R's.
More soup.
I'm soup.
More soup. All right, Albert, what's the best story for tomorrow's game? What is there's the obvious story. Is that the best story, or there's some other good ones there for tomorrow?
Big Packer return and a fumble.
Yeah, so I would say, I think like Josh Allen and the Bills getting over the hump after the year that they've had, it's been a really weird year for them, is a good one. The Lions at home in the playoffs, and just whether or not they can keep this going. The two former number one overall picks on different teams now, Goff and Mayfield. I think all of that is really good. The games tomorrow I think both those games should be super competitive. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the first one wasn't today. I thought this one wouldn't be real competitive, and the Packers are proving me wrong. God, that came right out too.
Wow, that's crazy, Peter. I'm sorry, you're just way ahead of me, and I think Albert. That was a crazy play right there. What was that? Like that had to be at least 65, 70-yard return for a fumble. Who's got? You're ahead of us, Peter. Who's got it?
Packers. The Packers just ran it on first down, so I'm ahead of you too.
Wow, you're way ahead of me. Holy shit. Okay, streaming. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're streaming.
Yeah, I'll try to catch up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Streaming, Albert, is where's everything going in TV, man? Streaming. It's all going streaming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the problem with and I always feel like everybody's streams always thrown up. They're always all over the place.
Yeah. Where are you guys at time-wise, just so I know?
Huh?
Like time on the game. Like, what do you got? What are you looking at?
641, 640, 639.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Oof. How many times you get to Buffalo, Albert?
I've been here a lot.
Yeah.
I used to cover the Patriots. I used to, and then they've been good for a while now too. I've been here plenty.
Yeah. You get to Frank and Teresa's? You get to the Anchor Bar? Or do you not give a shit about that anymore?
Tonight I wasn't going to leave the hotel. It's a mess outside. I thought about it. I'm like, I don't want to get in the car. Yeah. So.
Oh, look at this. What this turned out to be a great game, isn't it?
Yep.
Great game. Yeah. Jordan Love, is he going to get $40 million per?
Huh?
Is Jordan Love going to get $40 million per year?
I think he could. Yeah. Ooh. He looks smooth. You know, he looks really, really good. We'll see if they score here. And I'm going to ruin it for you. Touchdown.
That's all right. I gotcha.
All right. I'm going to have to bail here.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, Albert.
But and thanks for having me, Peter. Thanks for asking me. I appreciate it. I got to go cover the game, all right?
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you very much,
Later,
Albert.
Thank you. DMac, the wife just brought me Mucinex.
Peter, you are the funniest dude, man. You got a nice wife too. Good for her. All right, we got to bring Rob back in because we just don't know. Rob, come on back in because who knows with Peter. We love him, but we just don't know. Hey, that was great getting Albert Breer on, man. He's a great writer. Holy cow.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
That was really cool. Good dude, too.
Great dude.
Okay, man. Yeah, great dude. So the Packers now, damn, man. Did anybody see this? I mean, nobody saw this, I guess.
Going for two.
All right. Yeah,
How in the world did the Broncos beat the Packers is what TJ's asking on Twitter.
Because the Packers just weren't there yet with Jordan Love. They weren't quite there yet. It takes time. And yeah, go ahead.
How much do you rely on like the information from the regular season once you get, especially to this round of the playoffs? Like,
I don't know how Peter feels about it, but when I talk about it on the radio, I don't go back further than 4 games because I think 4 games is a pretty good sample. But if you go back further than 4 games, sometimes it just doesn't mean that much because things change so rapidly. So I wouldn't question like, how did the Broncos beat the Packers? I would look at the last 4 games the Packers played before this game. So talk to me about that. And was that Broncos team in their last 4 games a better team than the Packers in their last 4 games? And that's at least how I look at it. And a lot of NFL coaches actually do break the season up in quarters. They do. Yeah. So that, don't forget that Packers game happened in October, right? Because then they played the Chiefs and they beat the Chiefs, and they only beat the Packers 19-17, by the way, and it was a home game. But then it was the bye week. So I mean, we're talking about a long time ago, football wise, when that game was. It's a good question. But, teams can dramatically change. What happened to the Eagles, right? What happened to the Eagles? So it kind of goes like that.
So with Jordan Love, like he sat for 3 years before he started playing?
4 years.
Is there ever going to be?
Sorry.
Is there a team out there that you see that needs a QB that's going to be patient like that again, or willing to make that move where you have the?
Not many, man. And you draft a quarterback in the first round. They drafted him in the 20s, which is usually the death zone for quarterbacks. So when you're a playoff team, but this is where they were with Rodgers. They just didn't know. And, of course, Rodgers is insulted by it, as he probably should be. So, no, you're not going to – this Jordan Love story here is remarkable, I think, Peter. I think it's unbelievable, actually.
Well, still 3 years helps.
Yeah.
It shows you how you can grow up. Look, this is working.
Yeah, that's good. It's better.
I think that was 2 sentences in a row there, Peter. Good job.
It says no alcohol, though. That's a shame.
Well, maybe get I wonder if Vic is face down in a puddle right now from all the wine he might have been drinking. But what a fun afternoon and evening here, man. I mean, with if you missed any of it, you can go back and see it with Alfred, right? Marvin Lewis, Albert Breer, Vic. And is Vic coming back here, or I don't know who else is on the cavalcade of stars for this event?
He said he's coming back. He's probably getting a quick 18 in on a simulator.
Is that is that it for guests though, Peter? I mean, that was great. I'm not complaining whatsoever. That's outstanding.
Well, Joe Mixon was supposed to call.
Oh,
but he hasn't yet.
Okay.
But with the players, you can't say yes until you see him down there.
Yeah, no, I understand how it goes.
And
hey, what would their season been like if Burrow stayed healthy? You know what I'm saying? Like what?
They're playing tomorrow.
Chad says the Packers have gone 30 years without ever worrying about a QB.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's insane. And so wait, Peter, what is good return by the Niners. Wow. What is Love's deal? Is he on a 1 year? He sat for 3. He played last year. Then did he just sign a 1 year deal?
2-year deal.
2-year deal. What per is he getting?
Like 18.
Well, geez, wow. That's wild. Okay, well, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's amazing.
They didn't know what he was.
Right.
We have a 15-yard penalty, though, on the Packers here.
Hey, by the way, I didn't mention it, but you see your guy, Randy, got a flag for being
For
a wise
what?
guy. For being a wise
For
guy. I don't know. It's something. It was unsportsmanlike conduct. It was something.
Yeah, well, he's playing well. So is Boza. He
Yeah.
did the thing Trent did.
What we got here? I'll look that up here in a second. So Randy's there's Trent Williams. Oh my God. That's a flop. 34 did you see that? He flopped. He flopped.
Right.
Wow, and he got that. He drew that penalty for flopping. Damn. Well, good for him, right? I guess.
But
Total flop though. 100% flop.
speaking of flopping, where's Vic?
I'll reach out to him.
Niners need to get a drive going here, DMac.
Yeah. Who you well, you got to be pulling for the Niners, obviously.
Yeah, right now I am.
Yeah, of course. I am too. I'm impressed by the Packers, but I'm definitely pulling for the Niners.
Oh, I'm going for the underdogs.
Oh, shut up, Rob.
Hey, who doesn't like a good underdog story?
We got way too many San Fran connections here. Way too many.
That's fair.
Brian Greasy's a quarterback coach.
Who?
Brian Greasy.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. Another great guy. So we got Greasy, Kyle, Christian,
John Lynch.
John Lynch, Randy. For me, for my ASU feeling, Brandon Ayuk's there. I watched him all through college.
Adam
Oh,
Peters.
my God. Oh, what's that? Sorry.
Wide open, he missed him.
Yeah. Is Purdy that guy? Is Brock Purdy that guy?
I don't know.
Oh, that should have been a pick. Wow. Actually, got kind of lucky there, didn't he?
I don't know if he's that guy, though.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
where's he in his contract, Peter? What's his deal right now?
year 2 of a 4-year rookie deal.
Oh my God. Of a 7th rounder?
I heard he had to have a roommate in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a steal the Niners have right now, huh? That's crazy.
Peter, I thought I heard it was around like 800, 900,000 a year is what he's making with his rookie deal.
940 this year.
And in
Wow.
San Francisco, that's like poverty line.
Right.
Wow. Well, they don't live in San Francisco
Yeah.
though, Rob. I mean,
Yeah.
my son went to West Valley, a JUCO out there. So I've been in that area a million times. There's zero chance. Zero chance any of those dudes live in San Fran. However, there are parts of like Woodside, part of Silicon Valley, that is, that's where the billionaires of billionaires live. So
yeah,
it's expensive as hell out there, no matter where you're at, though. It's ridiculous.
Yes, but you see, if you have a quarterback making 940, you can afford other players.
You sure can. That's why I'm laughing. I mean, that's the steal of all steals. And by the way, this happened with I remember with like Philip Lindsay. Remember all that about like, oh, they promised Philip Lindsay a new contract. And I'm like, why the hell would John Elway give Lindsay a new contract when he's getting him on a steal right now? I mean, he doesn't have to do it. Why would he do it? Because he's a good guy. Hey, Peter, remember when like John just gave like Chris Harris like $3 million for nothing? Like, here you go. Like, not a new contract, nothing. Just like, here's just $3 million. Just take it.
To create harmony in the locker room.
That was one of the most. That is insane that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do it, sign him to a new contract. But if you're Chris, I mean, like, fuck it, I'll take it, I guess. Harmony in the locker room, $3 million for Chris, just here.
Well, that's because he had done such a poor deal originally.
Right.
It's called a mulligan.
I mean, I'm not saying Chris didn't deserve it. I just think he deserved a new contract is all, you know? I mean, that's it's not that he didn't deserve the money. But it is funny, Peter, because we've talked to Chris about it. And if you compare the careers of Patrick Peterson and Chris Harris, it's crazy the impact-wise, stat-wise, how similar those contracts are, how long they played, which is almost identical. And I think Peterson made more than $30-something million in his career, more than Chris, something like that, just because of where he was drafted.
Correct.
Did I get that more or less right?
That's right.
Yeah, crazy.
What are you guys thinking about tomorrow with the Lions? I mean, we haven't talked much about that this evening. I'm curious, do you think the Lions, are they a flash in the pan, or are they actually going to get to the NFC Championship game?
I think the Lions got a lot of pressure on them. I think they got I think they'll win. $1,100, $1,200 just to get in the door. Probably. Listen, it's tricky because they've won World Series, they've won Stanley Cups, but you can make the argument tomorrow in Detroit is the biggest sporting event in the history of the city of Detroit. How about that?
That could be true. I know guys that haven't gone to games in a decade that are finding money to go to a game.
That is crazy. They've won championships. Yep. With the Pistons, Tigers, and Red Wings. Is tomorrow a divisional playoff game, the biggest sporting event in the history of that city?
Like I said, I know guys that never go to games that are going to that game. I grew up an hour south of Detroit, so some of my friends are texting me like, "Hey, they're going to be at that game." I don't know how they found the money to go to the game.
Peter, what do you think about that? Do you think because of how big the NFL is with the Lions, it's the biggest sporting event in Detroit history tomorrow?
Bigger than when Claude Lemieux's rematch?
I don't know. I mean, is it bigger than Stanley Cups and World Series and NBA championships, a divisional playoff game?
Yes.
You think so?
Just even when you look at the numbers.
We need a big stop here. Big stop. But if the rich people are going to the game, will they cheer as loud?
Yeah, they'll be. Come on.
Interception Niners.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to watch games with Peter anymore.
No, I'm just clairvoyant. I'm not ahead. I just see the future.
Yeah, you're ahead of us. You're ahead of me at least. So who got it here? Who should I look for here?
As a tip.
All right, let's see. Let's break it down. We can break it down because I'm behind you guys so much.
It was a tip pass over the middle. Would you think that, Peter? Do you think that was he should have caught that one, or is it, no? That's behind him.
Oh no, it got tipped at the line. It got deflected at the line. I think it got deflected at the line, and I think the receiver deflected it too. Just go down, dude. Big play, huge play. Wow. Yeah. Oh, it did not. No, I'm sorry. My bad. It did not get deflected at the line. My bad.
Just threw it behind him.
Just a bad pass.
Are you in favor of the celebration cam?
I'm not sure I know what that is.
Where you run to the end zone and you.
Whatever.
Absolutely, it's entertainment.
I don't know. The players seem to like it. I'll tell you this. I think more fun is better than less fun. So, I mean, it doesn't do much for me, but the players seem to enjoy it. The fans seem to enjoy it. So, whatever.
I'm all for it. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. So I guess I'm there with you too.
But I do find it funny when you can't jump in the Salvation Army pod.
Well, there's actually a rule to it. It's one of my favorite things that they used to do, and they haven't for a couple years since COVID, but they used to have the referees come in to training camp, Broncos training camp, and they would go through the new rules. And I'll never forget, one of the rules was you can't use a prop that's there. Like you can't dunk on the field goal. You can do stuff, but you can't use other things as a prop. So like Remember when like T.O. got the popcorn, or I think Ocho Cinco had the pom-poms? Like, you can do anything you want to, but you can't use other existing things as some sort of prop. Weird rule. Like, I don't know why that matters. And that's why I know what you're talking about, Ezekiel Elliott and the Salvation Army thing, but that's why that was a problem, because it was a prop. So who knows how they come up with this shit, though? I mean, like, you know, like one thing is okay and one thing isn't. I don't really quite get it. But whatever, have fun, man. Enjoy yourself, and you just, you know, it's fine, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, what's the line where you kind of go, hey, it's celebrating. They're not even the celebrated, you know, guys on the field typically on the defense. So let them go, you know, let them go celebrate. Let them go get their moment.
I don't give a shit. Why do we care?
Niners have the ball. Interception was a poorly thrown pass.
Yeah. Okay, Niners. 21-14 Packers. Here we go, right? Like, great game, though, guys.
Great game.
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
It's like the old Packers, Niners Cowboys back in the day.
Oh, that is a terrible pass. Oh, my God. That was a bad pass. Wow.
All right, now, Brock Purdy is not Lamar Jackson. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Keen observation.
You think that was a design play? It might have been. Purdy is 14-23 for $172. Christian has 73 rushing yards, including a 39-yard touchdown. That was awesome. And 25 passing yards on 4 receptions on 7 targets. So they've kind of minimized Christian. They've slowed him down definitely a little bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if something pops for him here shortly. Again. Oh, got to catch that.
He makes up for it.
Oh, seriously, am I that far behind?
Yeah, I'm on DMac's timeline here.
Oh, man.
Definitely makes up for it.
Okay.
I forget what game I was watching the other day. DMac, you watched the Nuggets Boston game last night. Like, kind of the idea of going when you're on the road versus being at home. Like, when do you go for the win versus going for overtime? Say the Niners score a touchdown here if it's closer to the end of the game. Are you thinking tie the game, play for overtime, or do you go for 2?
In general, home teams try to tie. On the road, try to go ahead. But we're not even into the fourth quarter, so you just kick the extra point if you can get in there at this point for sure. And things are so much more in your favor at home going into overtime than on the road. So I think most coaches would just, if they had a choice, would take it into overtime. Home teams, that is. Oh, Purdy, another terrible pass. Jesus.
2 in a row.
God.
They've abandoned the run, though.
Looks like. Yeah. Yeah, looks like.
The next one should be a penalty. They don't call it.
I'm going to take Peter to Vegas.
I'm counting cards.
Peter, what's the next card in the deck? Should I hit or not?
I'd go for it. I'd take a hit. Here comes a 10. And Jair Alexander just got hurt.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
All right, big 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Peter, just do play-by-play. Just let us know what happens. We'll just.
I don't have that kind of voice. I'm no Marv Albert tonight.
Marv Albert, good pull. Well, you're not tied down, and there's another man waiting for you and your wife. That's Marv
With my toupee.
Right.
From Syracuse.
He's a Syracuse guy, just like Costas and Tirico and myself and the legend
Morty Glickman.
Glickman. Yep. Iron Eagle and his son, who does great stuff play-by-play too, which is crazy. We got Howard Denneroff. You know Howard Denneroff at all, Peter? He runs Westwood One production-wise. Yeah. He was one of my buddies in college.
Rob, do you know who Morty Glickman was?
No, I'm sure he had a great song in '73. Is it a hit?
He was one of the greatest Jewish athletes of all time.
Correct.
I'll take your word for it.
No, but he was the Giants broadcaster for years.
Okay.
He was kind of a legend, right? He was an athlete and a broadcaster. He had an amazing career.
And what is he most famous for athletically?
He got benched in the Olympics because of anti-Semitism. How about that?
And they put Jesse Owens in.
Yep. And even though it's not that Jesse wasn't good enough. Obviously he was. But Glickman, and I think there's another Jewish athlete too that were running in that relay, and they were world record holders without Jesse Owens.
Correct.
And there was, they were in Germany, and Jesse didn't want to do it, and there was a lot of pressure on him, and basically they stole the gold medal away from two Jewish athletes on the U.S. Olympic team to concede to Hitler. How about that?
There was a hierarchy among racism.
Yeah. So awful. Just one of our stories that's a little known story though, Peter. Probably not many people know that. That's good that you know that story. It's a good story to know, just to see where things have come from and where things were really at was awful.
I will look that up, but that actually sounds interesting to look into for real.
And then he became the big announcer for the Giants.
Yep.
Great announcer.
Yep.
All right, fourth quarter, boys. Fourth quarter.
All right, let's look at some numbers here as we go into the fourth. Jordan Love, 16 of 25 for 175, quarterback rating of 94.6, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. We got Brock Purdy, 15 of 27 for 184. So their numbers very, very similar. Touchdown, no interception, sacked once. Love has not been sacked, but he threw the pick. Quarterback rating of 89.1. So on the surface, these guys are having even Steven games. In terms of the running game, 25 of 74 for Green Bay. 15, man, Peter, you're right. San Fran's just given up, huh? 15 rushes for 76 yards. And I'm going to look at time of possession because it was heavily slanted towards the Packers in the first quarter. The Niners only had 1 possession, and it's evened out a little bit. 24 minutes for Green Bay and 20 minutes for the Packers. So that's kind of even, Steven. Guys, we just have an even game up and down, really. I'm trying to see if there's 6 of 10 on third down for Green Bay, 6 of 11 for San Fran. Total yards is similar. Passing yards.
Field goal good.
Okay. So
how much do you weigh time of possession as like a determining factor for a game?
Well, if you're it's so. Like the Chiefs have won a Super Bowl and their time of possession sucked because they would just score so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
In general, 0-30. Wow. Kyle Shanahan 0-30 when trailing by more than 5 points going into the fourth quarter. Damn. So he's going in the fourth quarter, they're down 7, but they score a field goal in the first 3 seconds of the fourth quarter. So that's a weird stat right there because technically now, I guess, you're down 4. All right, I'm going to ignore that. Who gives a shit about that? I'm sorry, what was your question? I just totally forgot.
Well, the idea of the time of possession, because I remember there's games, they seem like they're more anomalies where, like, you mentioned Patrick Mahomes. There was a game I remember Manning, when he played with the Colts, had the ball for like 14 minutes of the game.
It all sort of, it depends how quickly you score. I mean, you could get crushed in time of possession if you're scoring in, under 2 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. You're getting pick sixes. The other team, is just kind of moving the ball between the 20s. It doesn't tell the whole story all the time, but
To me, look at turnovers and sacks.
Yeah, those are way. Yeah, giveaway, takeaways. Yeah, those are way
Okay.
bigger indicators. Yeah.
Turnovers and sacks.
Well, for a team to be, -3 in giveaway, takeaway, and win a game is like fucking like impossible, or it's not impossible, but improbable. That's one of the great numbers, though, is when in the Chargers-Broncos game, when Peyton Manning came in the third quarter, when they started Brock Osweiler, the Broncos were -4 in giveaway, takeaway. Just things were not going their way, but they were only down 6 points. So they were still well within the game despite being -4. Most teams, if you're down -4, you're probably losing by 20.
Yeah.
So the Chargers weren't a good team, and they weren't really in that desperate of a situation. But, hey, it's fucking Peyton Manning. What are you going to – hey, we got Peyton Manning sitting on the bench in a uniform. Like, maybe we put him in. and kind of the rest is history. Because what happens, I mean, I don't know what they do if Brock wins that game and they go on. They'd already benched Peyton. They already made him a backup. But, whatever. The rest is history. Who cares?
All right, the Niners need to stop. The Niners need to stop, and this Mucinex is working.
You sound way better.
I look better.
There's no need for you to kill yourself anymore.
Right.
That's probably bad advice in the first place. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I'm good with that.
Depends on the day.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, right. Let's see if they stop him here. And I'm out of you.
Man, good game. I hate double digit point spreads for gambling.
I stayed away from this one.
Stop.
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. No.
They stop him.
Okay, what do you do?
They're punting.
Okay. Feels like this is a big opportunity for Christian here. How funny is it that Alfred, by the way, you got to see his kitchen. It's huge, and he's cooking in his garage, which is huge as well. And he has a huge deck. He's cooking in his garage. He's got a gargantuan kitchen. 5. It's a light night tonight. I'm just cooking for 5.
By the way, if you're wondering about that conversation with Big Al, that's going to get cut up and posted in the next few days. So stay on the channels, follow them, and you'll get the replay of it.
Good. You're gonna do that, huh? Good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a big moment here when we got reconnected with Big Al. So we had
that was the first time I had done anything in broadcasting with Al since Al left like 5-something years ago. How about that? Hopefully more to come.
Absolutely.
He's the best. He's defending Dion too in the catwalk.
Yeah.
Chad, I'll tell you the CU people I know that didn't like it. Chad didn't like it. Tyler didn't like it. Matt McChesney didn't like it.
Boy, talk about an interesting world change of difference for like how many times have current college football players walking a catwalk, and it wasn't a catwalk, and it wasn't even making money. It's definitely not making money. All those guys want college kids to make money. Yeah,
that's not it at all. It's the whole like
special treatment.
Yeah, that sort of stuff, that sort of thing. And nobody's saying that it's going to make any difference in when the season rolls around. It's just like, well, what is the culture there? What is happening there? Like
DMac, you've coached at least youth sports before. Peter, you coach lacrosse. Have you ever modified a practice or something like that because a star player couldn't make it and you maybe had a hard rule like, hey, if you don't make it to practice, you're not starting. All of a sudden your star player texts you going, hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late because of whatever. And you're like, oh, practice got moved back 30 minutes today, guys. Sorry.
Who are we playing this week?
Right.
In Detroit, it used to be, if you're going to be late for a meeting, make sure number 20 is with you.
Barry Sanders. Who are we playing this week? I have sadly seen special treatment just like Peter's joking about in college with my son, where there were different rules for. I've seen it. I've seen it. Peter's not wrong. Who we playing? I mean, that's well said. I didn't have anything like that because the kids I coached were relatively young. And if you're late, it's probably because your parents fucked up somehow. And I did coach high school kids, but it was never. Well, Peter's a varsity coach now, so he would have to deal with it way more than I ever did. So Peter would be a better guy to ask on that.
We benched our best player for the first half because he missed a practice.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got to do it. Christian McCaffrey for 4.
Yeah, it's time for the Christian show right now, don't you think? Take the ball out of Brock Purdy's hands a little bit and just make it. I mean, he ain't your best player. Christian is. So, and with no Deebo Samuel, that's a huge loss for them.
Right, and run behind 71. Good things happen when you run behind 71.
Yeah, no kidding. Is he the best left tackle in the business, Peter?
Yep.
God, he is a load.
McCaffrey for 10.
Keep feeding him. Go Valor.
Feed the wolf.
Scrappy underdog from Valor.
His youngest brother was a good lacrosse player at Valor.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Valor's down in football these days. I got a little gossip on them recently.
They're up in lacrosse, though.
Yeah, up in lacrosse, up in baseball, up in hockey.
And 1st and 10. So why don't you run it again?
Why would you do anything different?
I was curious why the Packers didn't take the same approach of just keep running the ball to start the 4th, but they went pass. I feel like they went pass. Do teams seem like they in the 4th quarter go more pass happy even when they're just ahead by a little bit?
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair question.
Depends on the coach.
Yeah.
All right, McCaffrey gets stopped.
Doesn't matter. He's a machine. Just go back to him again.
How about a screen, maybe?
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good call. Wait, are you watching head again, Peter?
Well, Peter's just, it's all right.
Yeah, they throw a little freaking.
We'll figure it out.
They throw a little circle route to him and bad pass. This is going to be a trouble here. 3rd and 10.
Well, they're setting up play action unbelievably right here. Well, 3rd and 10, actually. No, that's not great. But who else they got? How about Kittle? How about getting the ball to Kittle again?
Where'd Kittle go? Are you guys going to watch the Skills Pro game on the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. Peter, are you going to be there?
Huge catch by number 15. Huge catch.
Where is the Pro Bowl? I don't even know. Is that in Vegas too? Are they
Vegas.
Are they doing that?
Yep.
You gonna spend some time in Vegas, Peter, over that period?
It's possible. It's possible. You don't get a lot of sleep though.
Oh, I know.
Watch this catch.
All right.
What do you need for an acrobatic catch?
Oh, great play.
Already got hit on it too.
Great catch. Yeah, that boy. Guys, that's when you have a quarterback that's a little bit taller that can hang in the pocket, right? That's what you can do. That's a tough play. Great catch. Great throw. Wow, that is in a tiny window. And Purdy, you're right, got blasted. The guy looks kind of shitty, and then he makes a play. That's best pass of the night right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, tiny window.
Tiny window. Yeah, you should be fired up about that. Fuck. And on 3rd down, too. That was huge. Big play. Play action. Here we go. Well,
Is it 4 down territory yet for the Niners?
No. No, kick.
Yeah, the Packers haven't really done much with the ball here lately. The Niners, the momentum's definitely on the Niners side right now.
Well, I mean, it would be 4th and 1, yeah, but not 4th and 5.
They're still pretty far back for a field goal here, though. They need a few more yards for sure.
3rd and 10.
They're in some weird territory. I guess you could still. I guess you punt. You got to put it inside the 10, though, for sure. I think you're too far right. Well, Peter, you probably already know what happened. You probably know what happened at the end of the game.
Incomplete pass. Missed a wide open receiver.
Oh, man, Purdy.
Jeez. Yeah, 4th and 10 makes it tougher, but if it was more of like inside 4th and 5.
And they're punting.
All right, I don't hate that.
I hate when you kick it out of the end zone.
Yeah, is that what they did? Is it a touchback?
10-yard line.
10-yard line's good. 10-yard line's fine. Touchback would be bad. Oh, he had a wide open receive. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Wait, Brock Purdy kind of sucks here.
Is this where people say like they want a quarterback like Brock Purdy's a game manager and like a Patrick Mahomes in the situation would go make a play to help him win more than, I mean, it's one of those like, isn't a game manager what the quarterback is supposed to be? So it seems like a weird argument to say we want more than a game manager.
Now, Purdy's screaming at somebody. So somebody might have, when you see a quarterback react like that, you see that when I see a quarterback react like that, that means somebody else is screwed up.
Someone ran the wrong route.
Yeah. Like a reaction like that. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes all bad passes aren't on the quarterback. It looks terrible, but it's not always their fault. That's for sure.
This is what the NFL is all about, though.
Well, this is a Saturday night game like this. Are you kidding me? This is fantastic.
It's going to get some good ratings.
Yep.
Oh, did you guys remember to cancel your Peacock membership already?
No way, man. I want to see Deal or No Deal Fantasy Island. I want to see John Larroquette and Night Court and the New Adventures of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I looked for anything to watch, found nothing. Nothing.
I can get Seinfeld on Netflix, so I'm good.
I can't tell you the last network TV show I aside from my wife watching Survivor. Aside from that, I can't tell you the last network TV show I actually watched.
I like the SEAL team.
Do you really?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep.
Have you seen the one where they're training celebrities?
I don't know. Hey, I don't know how you can sit through the commercials.
I'll tell you a great show, Reacher.
That is a good one.
Yeah, but that's not a network TV show. That's on Prime, isn't it?
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy looks. I don't know who that actor is, but that motherfucker could kick any. Oh, sorry, I should have said that, Rob. I'm sorry. That guy.
He's huge.
That guy.
All right, Packers have the ball. Run play, first down, more. A lot more. Even more. Getting more.
He's channeling his intercostus.
Getting more. Running right by Chase Young. Again, like Marvin said, getting blocked by a receiver. Can't have it.
Wow. Have you seen it yet, DMac?
Yeah, I'm at it right now. Yeah, that's
Let's
That's terrible. That is terrible. Great play by Jones. Wow. Well, hey, give him his flowers, man. That's a talented running back right there, man. And that's great blocking, a great play call. And that is a massive mistake by the 49ers. Massive.
Oh,
the DN can't get blocked by a receiver.
No, you're right. And then oh man. Well, shit. That's an amazing play by the Packers right there. Great call. Oh yeah, 90. That's right. That receiver just took out 92 there?
Yeah, can't do it.
That is terrible. Where's Gregory? Where's Randy?
They better put him in.
Wow. Where was RG there, Peter?
I don't control play time.
I get it.
Another first down.
What will you do, man? After games with your clients, will you give them a call and just be like commiserate with them a little bit, or what's the protocol?
We'll go over the whole game.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm taking notes. That's just bad defense.
So you'll ask Rand. Well, he's not in. I don't know why he's not in. I mean, do they not want to play him in the run?
I don't know. He's in now.
Okay, he wasn't in on. Okay, I'm behind you. Maybe they're taking him out for the run game, I guess.
I don't know, but he's in on this play and they stop him.
Okay.
Second and 10.
This is getting a little tense right here, man. Touchdown in the pack. Niners are in trouble here, man. If this is a touchdown,
Got to hold them to a field goal.
Yep. And then Rob, we are in 4-down territory after that for sure.
Oh yeah.
Play action. I'm behind you guys. I know. Okay.
All right, we got 3rd and 8.
Peter's a full down ahead of me.
No, I'm not even there yet.
It's probably yeah.
I'm gonna put a mute mic on hit the mute on Peter time to time.
I just have the streaming stuff. It sucks. I should just be on regular TV.
Get the rabbit ears with some aluminum foil going to get the good picture there in the basement.
Oh, Randy's on the left side now, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you can spoil it or you can be patient.
Spoiled.
Were you the kid where like you knew what the gift was going to your kid or to your like your brother for his birthday? You're like, hey, no, you got the skateboard. You're getting the skateboard.
We had 3 brothers, so I always knew what I was getting. Whatever my older brother got last year.
Too funny.
Field goal. Where's Mason Crosby? And it snap, hold, place. Missed it.
Wow. No way.
What?
Wow.
Misses it.
Wow.
Where's Mason Crosby?
Wow. That is gargantuan miss then. Damn.
Wow.
Oh, by the hair of my chin.
Wow. Wow. Well, hey. Oh, that's a chip shot field goal for NFL field goal kickers. Chip shot. 41-yard field goal. That's nothing for these guys.
But
did the guy ever that signed with the Broncos that had the yips last year for Dallas? Did he ever get signed?
Yeah, for the Rams. He did well. He did fine. But yeah, he was the Rams this year. Bad snap, but they got it down. Wow, holy shit, that is gargantuan.
the announcer would say, had the leg though.
No doubt about that.
Had the leg.
Wow. Well, 4-point lead for the Pack. 6 and change to go in the game. I mean, this is kind of it. Here we go. You got to get a touchdown. We are in 4-down territory, no doubt about it. You can't mess around now. After that drive, there's no way you can. You got to go for it.
We need George Kittle.
Kittle has a big catch today. He's got a touchdown, right?
Yep.
Kittle's got 3 catches, 73 yards with a touchdown, long of 32. Yeah, Kittle's a weapon, man. Kittle's definitely a weapon. Wow, Mason Crosby. Yeah, where is Mason? Mason's with a team, though, isn't he? I think he's somewhere.
He got signed by the Giants and missed a big field goal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, he couldn't even kick the ball to the end zone.
Prater's still doing it.
Prater's got a leg.
Prater's still doing it. What a story Prater is.
Right.
Well, I mean, what year is he in now? 18? I mean, it's crazy. And Matty P had some problems back here in Denver, y'all. And he I'm happy for Matt. He's a good guy. I'm glad he got his life together. And did he ever? Wow. I mean, wow. So good for him.
Yeah, he partied like a rock star.
He had his time. No doubt about it. I mean, the Matt Prater IKEA security guard, training camp, it's just Jesus, what a story. I know we have time, but it's exhausting to go into.
Now they show the kicker looking at the iPad. All right, Purdy's got the ball.
Who are our guests? Well, Peter Schaffer, super agent here, and Rob. Rob is our man behind the scenes, aspiring broadcaster, but excellent digital guru for all of us. Rob's more or less helped put everything together. So I think it's just buddies. It's just pals. But it's been a heck of a show, and I'm glad you're going to repurpose some of this stuff, Rob.
Oh, yeah, no. If you miss part of it, whether it's like obviously with Big Al, with Vic there in the beginning, we had with Marvin Lewis, we'll get that cut up. Albert.
Marvin was great.
Yeah, Marvin was great.
So we'll get that cut up here in the next few days. So if you're just tuning in now and going, what did I miss? You missed some good stuff, but it'll be put out there on everyone's channels.
Alfred was classic Alfred. He's doing a watch along and he wasn't watching the game.
All right, we got 3rd and 1. Oh, the Packer kicker's not practicing.
You miss a 41-yarder. That's rough, bro.
You should practice before, not after. 3rd and 1. And the push play. They get it.
Yeah. It was even like less than 1. It was like inches.
No, it was a bad mark. Wait till you see it.
Oh, really? Because Christian's down almost at the marker.
That's what I thought. But it was a bad mark.
That's funny. You're saying that the kicker's practicing. Hey, bro. You might want to mix that in a little bit before the kick, not afterwards, bro.
Right. It's like what I tell my clients, you don't want to smoke weed on the way to the combine. Smoke on
the way. Okay. Yeah, that was a weird. Yeah, they got it. So, but yeah, you're right. Oh my God, smoking weed before the combine. Oh my Lord, those stories are crazy. It's like, my guy. It's like your time. There's so much weed you can smoke after the combine.
Right. Just get home.
Like, do they? Are there any medicals, Peter, after the combine, or all medicals combine, and that's kind of it?
They're medicals, but they can only test you at the combine.
That's it, huh? Oh wow. Yeah. So you just got to stay clean.
End of February.
That's it, man. It's not that big of a sacrifice.
It all drops a huge pass in his hands.
Oh,
on 2nd and 5. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, in the wrong number.
Oh, here's an interesting question. I didn't even notice this, Peter. It's for you. When you see a client go off on a fan like Honey Badger did tonight, do you say anything? I didn't even catch that. The Honey Badger was screaming at a fan or something?
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Here it is, big play, 3rd and 5. Purdy.
Oh, dude, I'm just seeing that Kittle thing. Oh my lord.
Huge catch by Arizona State.
Ayuk, my guy.
Peter's gonna start talking in code.
I'll understand that one.
Be like Nostradamusisms. What's going on?
Huge catch.
This is a great game. 3.5 to go. Tick, 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 tick. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
Oh, Niners big catch down to 25. The sound guy
Woo! Can San Fran do this? Purdy is all over the place, man. Like
Wow.
he is terrible and he's brilliant all at the same time.
Yep, it's like my chicken soup, hot and cold.
Peter, what time did you know you might have been in trouble for this this podcast tonight?
Last night, but I thought I'd get better. Kittle catches it, breaks the tackle. He's down to the 16.
Wow.
250.
Well, now you kind of want to make Green Bay call a couple timeouts, don't you?
Oh, I don't.
Or you're not worried about it.
You don't jinx yourself.
You just say, hey, you got a rookie kicker. He just missed one. Fuck it.
Right.
We don't care.
Ball's on the 17.
Purdy's playing great on this drive.
McCaffrey first down. 2-minute warning coming up.
Oh, man, this is tearing the heart out of Green Bay Packers fans right now. I think, listen, man, I don't know, man. I have plenty of respect for San Fran and good for them and all that. I think the Ravens would steamroll these guys right now.
Yeah, especially in a dry turf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in a dry turf.
Oh, Christian's so tough. All right, I'm there with you. The 2-minute warning. And, man, great game. Green Bay up by 4, 2 minutes to go. Christian, big night for him. He has 16 carries for 92 yards. That's really good. 5.8 per touchdown, long run. 6 catches for 30. Fun game. Weird weather, but that doesn't seem to matter now.
Still only 1 sack. 1 sack.
1 sack. Wow. Not many turnovers, only 1 interception, right?
Yep.
That's it. There's a fumble, but they recovered it. Packers fumbled it on kickoff, but they recovered it. Great game.
It doesn't feel like there's been a lot of flags either.
No.
I can tell you. That's a good question. I can tell you that answer, my friend. We have, 6 penalties on the Niners, only 1 on Green Bay. So, yeah, Niners 6 for 83, 1 for 5 for Green Bay. So, hey, another reason, man, Green Bay's in this game. They haven't made, I got one there, so they haven't made a lot of mistakes. They haven't slowed themselves down. They've controlled the ball. They've done everything you need to do to give yourself a shot here on the road against a better team for sure. Jordan Love's been okay. He's been okay enough. He has 2 touchdown passes, a pick. Not sacked, though, to your point, Peter. He's doing what he needs to do. Purdy's rolling up some numbers now. 252. And here we go.
If that receiver cracked the linebacker, it's a good play.
We get down into the red zone, though, and you never know.
Purdy with a huge run. Almost a first down. Packers still not calling timeout.
Yeah, that's a good pickup there, Peter. What are they thinking here? I mean, yeah, you kind of wow, that's a misstep by the Packers.
Even though they have to get in the end zone.
Yeah, you got to give yourself some time.
Get the first right here. Just get the first.
I'm watching the Purdy run right now. Oh, he tried for that first.
McCaffrey touchdown.
Okay.
107.
Oof.
Oof.
Don't you like it when the announcer goes, instead of 107, 67? He's proven to you that he can count.
236 seconds left on the clock.
Like you proved you can count. Good job.
You've never done that in a game, like in a lacrosse game. There's a timeout. You're like, hey, guys, we got 100 seconds left.
All right, I'm watching this McCaffrey play. It's like a replay for you, Peter. But so they're
when you say 100 seconds left, there's 2.5 minutes.
Oh, look at Christian. Good for you,
Yeah,
Christian.
no, clearly you haven't.
God, I'm pumped for Christian, man. That's awesome.
How grateful do you think he was to get out of Carolina and go to the Niners?
Yeah, I don't think he hated Carolina. I think he was well respected and treated well and the whole thing. I know he had a nice house and all that stuff, but sometimes you just got to get stuck. And obviously the lineage of his mom and dad going to Stanford and Ed playing for San Fran. I mean, there's something special with the McCaffreys and San Francisco, no doubt about it. So it's kind of I don't think he was anxious to get out of Carolina, but I think it's fair. If he was going to go anywhere, to go to the Niners for Christian's got to be pretty special. Got to be. Yeah. So, and you, if you don't know the geography, this is in Santa Clara, not San Francisco. Correct. And Palo Alto is like 10, 15 minutes away from the stadium. So again, with Ed and Lisa and Stanford, with Christian going to Stanford, obviously, yeah, I would assume it's awesome. I got to assume this is awesome for him.
Can we put him on defense right now?
Right.
Put Christian on defense. He could play there. You don't think he could play safety?
I do. I put him out there. And I put Lynch too.
John, can you imagine how many penalties and games John Lynch would be suspended playing under today's rules? He would not learn the new rules. I don't think he could change them. 0 against Detroit though. Because he couldn't touch Barry Sanders. All right. What do you think, guys? No, Barry was the only problem with Barry is we needed to see more, Peter. That was the only problem with Barry. We needed more. Oh, don't you? Yeah. I'm sure. Right. He'll be there tomorrow, right? You'd think? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely pulling for I do like Baker Mayfield though. I know. We'll see how that. They both have good stories to. They do. I listen. A Detroit San Fran game. I'd way rather see a Detroit San Fran NFC Championship. Although I do like the Tampa and Baker story, that just would be it's just a better game. All right, what do we think, guys? Does Green Bay pull this off or not? It's coming down to the wire.
I'm going to say they're going to tie it up. We're going to get some free football here.
I'm going to say it's going to be a turnover eventually.
3rd and 2. Coming up, 3rd and 2.
Minute to go. Less than a minute to go.
3rd and 2.
But people are asking Peter, hold on, let me get it here. Why is Peter intentionally trying to spoil the upcoming play for DMac and those delayed slightly? Peter, you're being accused of a travesty here.
I think they're calling us slow.
I'm clairvoyant. First down Packers. Kept in bounds, though.
They got 3 timeouts.
Yeah, they got a lot of timeouts.
They wind in the clock, and they call timeout.
Yeah.
The kicker's a little nervous.
Oh, you think? He's probably shitting his pants right now. Are you kidding me?
What do they do in the
How about overtime though? Overtime would be kind of fun.
Like
I wouldn't mind it.
free
Sure, if you had
football?
a voice.
Peter's voice wouldn't be any good.
If you had a voice, it would be.
Hey, this might be the right time to get Vic back on.
I did text him a few minutes ago to see if he wanted to wrap it up here, but I don't know if he's
Speaking
done.
of Vicks, I am having a Vic cough drop.
No, I appreciate you soldiering through here, Peter.
I am. I had no choice.
Playing injured.
Yep. Got to
Well,
leave it on the field.
It's a great idea, and getting the guests, and sure, we got a couple more weeks of this, so I mean, why not? If you're
And the game is over. The game is over. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Was there a turnover?
Yes.
Yeah, you're way ahead of us.
Wait,
Down goes Frazier.
Too funny. Well, let us watch it, and then we can wrap it up.
DMac was right again.
Well, that's how these games always end. They always end in a turnover or, some sort of heroic moment. But you're just, you're forced to do stuff that you wouldn't normally do.
No, but it's just a shitty pass.
So,
Throw it away.
It's thrown across his body on first down. That is terrible. Wow, is that a shitty decision?
What are you doing?
Wow.
And the
Go
weather,
down.
too.
Go down, brother. Go down. What is this guy trying to do? What an idiot. Go down. The hell's he doing running all over the place, dude? Greenlaw. He did that before. I think that's his second pick. And he did the same thing the last time.
Yep.
All right, well, that is on a first down play with 2 timeouts. That is a terrible decision by Jordan. Oh, my God, that wasn't even close.
Hey, my wife must be watching. Someone said Peter ruins everything. I didn't know what her pseudonym was, though.
It sounds like a new show on the Peacock Network.
Oh, Love's got to throw that away. Nobody was open. Throw it away. That's a terrible decision.
Despite how
Oh,
this
my
game
God.
wrapped up for the Packers, do you like they only won like 9 games this year, right? Like, if you're in the Packer organization, are you pretty happy?
I'm okay, but that play by Love is going to stick with me a little bit. I mean, dude, it's okay to lose a game against a better team, but you don't want to lose it that way.
Hey, Peter, does it hurt that how much that DMac was right here and Big Al was right to start it, where he's like, hey, if you leave the Niners in the game, they're going to come back. It's like, does it hurt to see how much they're right throughout the game?
No, I love it. Almost as right as I am when I know what's happening.
Right.
Too funny. All right, why don't we wrap it up here, Peter? My God, my man, go rest, for crying out loud. It's over. The San Francisco 49ers will face the winner of Tampa Bay and Detroit, and we'll see. We'll see what we do here. Peter's got to rest here a little bit, though, bro.
Yeah.
But the laundry list of guests we had was really, really special. Super pumped to be part of this tonight. So thank you, Rob, and thank you, Peter.
Let's do it. Let's go.
My pleasure. Who do you guys got tomorrow? Tampa or Detroit?
Detroit.
Kansas City or Tampa or Kansas City? Or what's it? No, not sorry. Kansas City.
Buffalo. It's time we're all fucking annoyed with the Mahomes and, Kelsey and Mama Kelsey and Taylor. Enough of that. Let's go, Bills.
Let's go.
Love it. Hey,
All right, y'all.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right. We'll see everybody.